Some of the content of Patriots Unfiltered may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
The world's original podcast.
Welcome to Patriots Unfiltered.
My prediction, he will play.
Yeah, I don't really have a prediction.
No, you shouldn't.
You
I
know,
still have a
sorta.
bump in the back of my head from third grade where Michael Massidi.
My
concussion.
favorite part of growing up, Kirsch, it's Richie Campanella,
Oh, yeah. Michael Massidi.
Michael Massidi.
Vincent Venetullo.
He grew up with my people.
So ask and thy shall receive. They'll be having a gathering at the Live Oak Music Row from 6 to 9. Nashville Pats will be co-hosting with the New England Patriots fan engagement team, emceed by Sarge. Why don't I know any about this? So no one tells me about this. Wow.
So just so you know, the look on your face speaks volume.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be like me?
Yeah, no, I hear you, Paul.
This is Patriots Unfiltered.
Presented by Toyota's official website for deals, buyatoyota.com.
All right, welcome to Patriots Unfiltered. It is Thursday here at Gillette Stadium, getting ready for the Tennessee Titans in Nashville. I'm getting all these suggestions on where to go to eat on the Strip, so thank you for that. Talking coordinators today.
Yes.
Alex Van Pelt and DeMarcus Covington weighed in. And, of course, we're going to be doing picks. Deuce and Evan will be by later. Right now it's Paul, it's Alex, it's me, it's Matt in the booth. And we'll be here for the next 2 hours talking Patriots and whatever else comes to mind.
Yeah, Alex looks like she's ready for Nashville now.
Yeah.
This is not a Nashville outfit.
It's Halloween
it's a
today.
Texas outfit. I'm someone's ex from Texas, like the George Strait song.
Okay.
Get it?
I have to
Yeah.
clarify because I don't want people to think I'm like a Nashville cowgirl. I'm like a Hook'em, Texas cowgirl.
But why wouldn't you be a Nashville cowgirl?
Because we're playing
Because
the
we're
Titans.
playing the Nashville.
That's why I'm saying you should be a Nashville cowgirl.
Do they have cowgirls or is it just like
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
aspiring singers
Oh,
there?
yeah. They sell the cowboy boots up and down the strip.
Okay.
Yeah.
I should have
I
worn
would
my
say
Tacovas today.
9 out of every 10 women that walk up and down the streets are dressed like that.
Oh, yeah.
No, they have like
With
the,
the boots.
sparkly
Girls'
ones.
night
With the
out.
boots.
I
You
don't
don't
have
have
bride
any
any
sash.
Yeah,
because of that reason.
it's turned into
Alex went to Texas 2 weeks ago and made it her whole personality.
yeah. It's turned into a big
Bachelorette destination.
bachelorette destination.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you. Yeah, they all come in. They got their little skirts on and their boots. And,
Amazon boots.
You
and-
know, just living it up, living a dream, being somebody else for a couple nights.
Cool.
Yeah. But
Not a ton takeaways from the coordinators that you
I
sort of
thought- I
prefaced.
thought-
They were both good. They were both solid, but, you know, just kind of.
I was in meetings, so I couldn't, listen live. But from what I heard, I mean, Alex Van Pelt was glowing about Booty,
Okay.
that he's been outstanding in,
Well,
I'm
all
with
the
Fred.
coaches,
Maybe like tone aside, like from the tweets, it was like very glowing
Right.
reviews.
all of the I didn't take it as anything out of the ordinary, to be honest with you. I think all the coaches have been very complimentary of Booty's work ethic from a tough start through the spring and into the summer. He's practiced much better. He's become a part of the offense. I think that's sort of like, to me, maybe I didn't think it was as glowing as you did,
Well, I just
because
read it.
to
I
me it
didn't
was
hear
kind
it.
of
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
Like that's been the theme that's
Yeah.
been going on now, I would say, for the last
Yeah.
maybe 3 weeks.
Yeah. He also,
You know, Booty's transformation from sort of afterthought
Yeah.
to regular part of the offense has been talked about by Mayo, by certainly by Van Pelt.
and they could be encouraging him, like,
Yeah.
like, keep it up,
Well,
kid.
Yeah, I mean he's making plays.
Yeah. And then Drake May's decision making is outstanding, he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he didn't say that he was disappointed, but I think I sensed that he was disappointed not to see the transition from the London game to the Jets game, because he didn't get to play enough to see like that kind of stuff. But yeah, he did. He mentioned the decision making being improved.
Yep. And do we have any more clarity on where Drake May is in his protocol?
No, Van Pelt was very adamant about that, not getting into any of the injury stuff, and I think someone even asked him, do you anticipate him doing more today? And he said, well, he hasn't met he's meeting with the personnel this morning, so I don't even think they know yet
Yeah.
where he stands in the protocol.
Okay.
But he was listed as limited yesterday. That's an update.
Yep.
We got the injury report 4 o'clock yesterday. He was out there. He did some stuff as Mayo said he would, and he was listed as limited. I thought that maybe he'd be a DNP on the official report, but he wasn't. He was listed as limited. I think that's another good sign.
Yep. That is a good sign. So we'll see what happens. We'll see when Evan comes back from practice today, if there's any more news. If the media has picked up on anything, or, Gerard does not speak on Thursdays.
Right.
So we won't hear from him until tomorrow morning. But, hey, you can only hold out hope at this point. So.
And I have hope.
Yeah.
I think there's a chance he could play.
Yeah. We talked about yesterday about, who actually gives the Patriots a better chance of winning, Jacoby Brissett or Drake May. And it's kind of a toss-up there. I mean, there's no definitive right answer there. But I just want to see May out there just to keep the progress going. I think the Tennessee Titans defense poses some really challenges for him, especially when it comes to decision-making. And I want to see how he does.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested in seeing the Tennessee defense, period, because I don't know. I like to see how legit it is.
Yeah.
How much of it is sort of circumstantial. They're 1-6.
Not sure our offense is the team to test to see how legit they are.
Well, that's true. They shut. I'm looking. That some of the teams they've played, like they played Chicago, and that was Caleb Williams' first game.
Right.
They played the Jets, an offense that's really struggled all year. But I'll give that one as a legit because they have weapons, and that's they had Rodgers, they have good wide receivers. So that one's I would say in the plus column. They played the Packers without Jordan Love. That was a Malik Willis game. They gave up 30. Then they played the Dolphins without Tua. Then they played the Colts, and I'm not sure who played that game. I'm not sure if that was a Flacco game or a Richardson game, to be honest. Buffalo and Detroit the last 2 weeks, 34-52.
Yeah. So maybe they're not as good as we think they are.
So I'm kind of curious to see what they look like.
Yeah.
And I just had that in front of me. I didn't memorize that stuff.
But it's good to look into that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Little context, if you will.
Yeah.
Number 1 ranked defense, but is it
going back to the mean?
Yep. And then, of course, congratulations to the Los Angeles Dodgers for being world champs. And what a meltdown by the Yankees.
Made the top of the 5th run on a loop forever.
Love to see it.
Yeah, that was good to see, although my guy...
That was bad.
He just took his eye off that ball.
Who's your guy, Judge?
He loves Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
I was happy for Mookie. Like you guys, I hate both teams, but I'll always root for Mookie Betts.
Yeah, everybody kind of pushed back on my Dodgers hate. I don't like the Dodgers at all. And people were like, why do you hate the Dodgers? I don't know.
I'm with
Tommy
you.
Lasorda.
Anyone from L.A.
Like, that whole Steve Garvey, smarmy kind of, that's what I grew up with. I didn't care for it.
Did you guys see the guy who tried to pry the ball out of Mookie Betts'? Did you see the update on that? It was Gronk's friend from college.
Oh, yeah, that's old news.
Oh, well, excuse me, sorry.
Yeah, no, he was on the Kay Adams show, and he was
Gronk.
talking about it.
Yesterday or this morning?
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
I didn't see this till this morning.
Yeah, no, this is, and,
but it was after the show. We didn't know that during the show.
He was talking about how he knew the kid. He played on the club team at
Club
Arizona.
hockey team.
Club hockey team. And he was a maniac back then. And she's like, oh, if you think he's a maniac, then he must have really been a maniac.
For sure.
But, yeah, giving these guys any type of positive press, I think, is bad. I'm not being an old fart by saying you can't be, reaching out and getting involved with athletes. Like if you're in Broadway, do you walk up on the stage and interact with the act? You just don't do that. Like you're there as a spectator. Keep it that way.
Like
they got their karma.
Yeah, but like if you were like at a basketball game and you have floor seats, right? And a guy was inbounding the ball and you just reached out and knocked it out of his hands. Do you think that would be okay?
No. See you later.
Like it's the same thing.
Right.
Like you would never see that in a basketball game.
Right.
Well, let's hope, knock on wood, we never see it.
Yeah.
And I didn't see a lot of examples, but just if anybody wants to try to normalize this as, well, they're doing what they need to, like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because that was way above and beyond.
It's like, and everyone's like same scenario, basketball game. Every once in a while, the player goes into the stands, going for a loose ball. What if like you go in the stands and the guy gives you a rabbit punch in the back of the head? It's like, You just can't do that. So I don't like making these guys out to be anything more than they are, which is idiots. So there you go.
And they got
Instant
banned.
karma.
Yep.
They got banned.
And their team lost.
And the team lost. Good.
All is right
It was
in the world again.
unbelievable. It was unbelievable how they melted down in that inning.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Good. All right. So now the Red Sox should be motivated to spend some money because you can actually win a World Series if you buy some good players.
That's my hope, and that's kind of why I was like, all right. So I'm glad these two teams made it, but I don't have any faith.
So, so Juan Soto is going to be a free agent, and the Yankees are in the mix, the Mets are in the mix, and now they say Toronto's. Why aren't the Red Sox in the mix for Juan Soto? Like, what? Why is that? Like, I know they have a lot of lefty hitters, but he's a good one.
I feel like the Red Sox the last couple seasons have kind of decimated their prowess as a place free agents want to go to. Like, you talk to a lot of the Latin American guys, the guys that come out of Central America, et cetera, and they're like, it's the Yankees and the Red Sox. Like, those are the teams you want to play for. And is it still that way? I don't know, but it just seems like
it's not that way if they don't pay.
No. And Mookie is a guy that, in my opinion, should have been a Red Sox for life. Like, that guy should be in Boston for life. And just ever since that happened, it's just been one thing after another that I'm like, what are we doing? Are we even the Red Sox anymore?
Yeah.
And
I think they've just decided that we can make money without winning at that level. So why not make more money?
Yeah. Buy some more teams.
If that's the reason, then we need an ownership change because that's not how they always used to be. They used to, yeah.
They didn't win those titles by doing that.
Nope.
Yeah.
Like the foundation of sort of the breaking of the curse was Johnny Damon, Manny Ramirez, Kurt Schilling, Pedro Martinez, Keith Folk, big money, either trades or free agent acquisitions.
Do you think if I sold my Super Bowl rings, I could afford to buy the Red Sox?
I probably need a little more than that.
I'll go in with you.
I could put mine up as collateral for you to help.
Yeah.
Although,
okay.
Well, has MLB gone the way of other leagues accepting private equity now? We could probably get a group together.
Oh, MLB's had minority owners for a long time. Yeah, they've got. Yeah.
You missed that, Alex. Probably can get a group together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Private equity.
Yeah.
We can do that.
We'll do some fundraising.
I don't walk in those circles.
If you're interested in investing in Fred and I's Series A round to buy the Red Sox, we'll post the GoFundMe link.
Yeah.
Just right next to the GoFund link for Paul's car.
She's got a little knowledge about everything.
I know. I know.
I'm a finance bro.
Yeah. Okay.
Where's your vest?
You're right. It's Halloween.
So that's baseball. So now we're moving back to football.
So baseball, huh?
Yeah. Now we're moving back to football. We had our first practice participation report yesterday. Anything that we need to talk about there?
There was a lot of people on it.
Yeah.
For both teams.
Yeah.
The DNPs for the Patriots were Christian Ellis, Badarian Lowe, and Jaquelin Roy. Ellis with an abdomen injury, Lowe ankle and shoulder.
So the shoulder's new? Because the ankle was what he had.
Yeah. And Roy is a neck. But then they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 players listed. That was my Mike Francesa. 1, 2, 3, 13.
Good radio.
13 players listed as limited. The Titans had a lot of guys that did not practice, and some big names.
Yeah.
Tyler Boyd, Amani Hooker, Tony Pollard, Tavondre Sweat, L'Jarius Sneed, Jeffrey Simmons, although Jeffrey Simmons was rest. But those are big names for the Titans, and those guys didn't practice yesterday.
Who would you say is in a better position right now as a franchise? The
Patriots.
Titans or the Patriots?
Patriots.
The Patriots.
Why?
Drake May.
Yeah.
Right.
Single-handedly.
Exactly.
And if you asked me 6 weeks ago, I'd probably say the Titans, but
yeah, I would say the Patriots, but it's all about Drake May.
Yeah.
Like, I don't necessarily think they're any further along in the rebuilding process than the Titans are. They both have first-year head coaches that are, learning their way and trying to figure things out. But I do think Will Levis does not look like he has the amount of potential that Drake May has shown. And I know it's only been a couple of games, and you know, I'll be fair about this. I won't just be Johnny Homer. Will Levis had a couple of games last year as a rookie where I'm sure that Titans fans were very excited.
Yeah.
And the one that sticks out to me is that Monday night game in Miami late in the year. He played really, really well. I think he had another game, one of his first starts, he threw 4 touchdown passes. So Levis has shown flashes, but I think the body of his work is not overly encouraging if I'm a Titans fan.
Also, I think that big game was right after his girlfriend left him for Morgan Wallen, so I wonder how much that had to do with it.
This is why we have you on the show.
There it is.
Yeah.
Alexandra comes with that right there.
She went to a Morgan Wallen concert as
concert.
Morgan Wallen's guest, and then conveniently broke up with Will Levis, and then he went off.
Huh.
I'll show you Morgan Wallen.
Then he got depressed about it in the offseason and
She's
hasn't
a
been able to
beautiful
rebound.
girl, so I would be upset too.
Is
but
that what happened?
I'd have to ask him, but this is all speculation, right?
What's the
It
matter,
doesn't
Matt?
sound it.
I thought Morgan Wallen was a man. I'm sorry.
Oh.
He is. The country singer.
He is.
The girlfriend, her name is Gia.
I
The
was confused on
girlfriend
the story.
went to
then,
the
sorry.
Morgan Wallen concert as his guest. And
VIP.
evidently has left Will Levis.
It was at Fenway
in
Park, too, the
tatters.
Fenway Park concert, so.
Yeah.
Fun fact. More you
Speaking
know.
of
I did not, well, you know, it's not
Speaking of,
surprising I didn't
That's
know
what I'm
that.
for.
speaking of girlfriends, Bill's ex dressed up as Kill Bill for Halloween.
No way.
Yeah,
was
I thought that was great.
This is not like you to not know these
Yeah,
things.
I
how did
didn't
you not
know
know
this.
that?
I know.
It's
I
like 2
follow
days
Linda
old.
on Instagram, too.
Yeah,
I haven't been on social media a lot.
Yeah, she had a group picture from Nantucket, I assume, with her friends, and she was Uma Thurman from
Hell
Kill Bill.
yeah. I love that in Nantucket, too.
Yeah.
I love that. What?
Yeah.
I was going to say, I love
That was
that.
close. That was close.
I was going to say, I love that she still gets
Oh,
to live in
okay.
the Nantucket
But
house.
then apparently she got mad at people for calling her out on the internet. It's like,
Yeah.
what do you expect?
Like, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Like,
Call her out for what?
I
She's
find it-
vindicated.
I
well, they were
know.
like, let it go.
She has
we
every
did it."
right.
But I
no,
found
Team
it.
Linda Holiday.
See, I find it funny that she did it. I thought it was kind of, kind of interesting, kind of cute. And then she got, some people, I guess, as Fred said, called her out on it. And then she got really mad. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay, now I'm like, what are we doing? Like,
Right.
you
Well,
have to
Bill
be-
likes-
when
Bill
you
likes
do
a
that, you
cheeky
have to be
woman.
prepared that some people are going to be Team Bill and they're going to
Well,
criticize
they probably
you.
got nasty with her because, I guess he bought the house that she's living in right now. So why would you want to kill him? But it's all in fun. It's like a joke. Who
Hee hee
cares?
ha ha.
Yeah.
Well, his current girlfriend also recently had to clap back at the haters because I guess some Boston radio station, some girl was like,
Kiss 108.
I'm unfamiliar
Winnie.
with the show.
This is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I don't listen
That's
to I don't
three-
listen to
I
radio.
guess
That's
you were our
three-
lifestyle
could not-
editor.
Those are
You
three
could not
puppy,
pay me
culture-y
to
kind of
listen
things that I knew that you didn't.
to the radio station.
You don't have to listen. It's all over the internet. That's how I found out
Well, that's how I
about it.
found out about it too, from
Yeah.
the internet.
Right, yeah.
But her calling that girl out and being like, "Oh, I could go be a Bridgewater State cheerleader," and then she was like, "Oh yeah, you could." Like, I thought that was funny.
Yeah, that's good. And then Bill, do you see what Bill did?
No.
Fun fact.
Okay, so why don't you know this? He posted
I'm working on your newsletter
he
all
posted
week.
on Instagram a support for her, like doing the bear claw. I guess they're the Bridgewater State
The Bears. Yeah.
And he's going like
Hell
this.
yeah.
So, like, yeah.
That's funny.
So
I
fun
love it.
fact that the
Girl on
girl
girl
on
crime.
Kiss 108 that was critical of Bill's girlfriend
Yeah.
used to work here.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. No, it's just a fun
So are we
fact.
Team Winnie or Team Jordan?
It's just a fun fact.
Team Jordan.
Okay.
I would be on this particular.
I am on this
argument.
particular too.
Yeah. I also cheerleading
It's hard.
as you know.
Yeah.
My mom was heavily involved in Pop Warner cheerleading,
Right.
so I have a lot of respect for it.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of people that maybe don't care about it, it's fine if you don't like it. You don't have to like it, but you don't have to criticize it.
Yeah.
And Winnie, I think, was being very critical of something that she didn't really have any knowledge
She didn't,
of.
because Bridgewater's. I mean, I know that Bridgewater State's always been very good at cheerleading, but I have a lot of cheerleader friends, so
Okay. Yeah.
that's why you should know
he-
what you're talking
I-
about
I-
before you open your mouth.
I hear their philosophy department is second to none.
Well, I mean, Jury's still out on that one, but
All right. 855-PATS-500 is the TPX hotline. Podcasts at patriots.com is the email address. We have an apology to Paul. Yesterday we had an emailer say that
I'm just going to go out on
he
the limb
asked-
and say that's not necessary.
he had Paul. He asked Paul for some career advice, and Paul blocked him. Now he's calling back or writing back and says he wants to apologize. Not sure whose account I actually DM, but it is what it is. So it may not have been you, Paul.
I didn't know you even had an Instagram.
Well, I do, but I
Is
can't.
it a burner or?
No,
you
no,
just
it's
don't
not a
use
burner.
it?
I think it's my full name. I think it's
Okay.
actually Paul.Peril. But like, I've never used it.
Yeah.
We should make you an
It's like me on
influencer. We should
Facebook.
try
I have
to
an
build
account,
that
but I don't.
account up for you.
Yeah. He says, now that I'm asking the right person, do you have any tips on journalism and how you got into the industry and working for the team? I'd also like to hear the rest of the crew story if you have time. We don't.
My number one
So-
piece of advice would be to find another vocation.
Well, I actually do, and you
No,
do
I
it
do-
too.
I do a
Once
lot
in a
of
while
that.
we talk to young people who are trying to get into the industry. The first question I have is, give me your definition of sports journalism. Because that's important these days. It's changed.
My variation of that is, why do you want to be a sports journalist?
Right.
One of the best pieces of advice I got when I was growing up is someone said to me, why do you want to be a sports writer? Because that's what I wanted. And, when I answered is because I really enjoy writing. And then he said, stop. He goes, that's the right answer. Because his feeling was so many people that want to get into sports media because I love sports.
Right.
Which is great to be passionate about the topic that you're going to be in, but you need to be passionate about the elements of the job.
Right.
So I always felt like that was a really good
Definitely.
piece
Yeah.
of advice that I got
when I was a little
young.
kid, someday when I grow up, I'm going to work at Disney World. And now I realize that wouldn't have been a good idea because, I wanted to work there so I could go on the rides.
Right.
That's not what happens when you're
I want to go to
working.
games for free.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And we are going to Nashville, so we do have people I know from all over the country who are Patriots fans who are going to Nashville because it is a good destination city to go to a game. We have some recommendations for food. Peg leg porker is one. And Edley's, this person, who is it? Let's see. It's Junior? I don't know. But he says that's the best barbecue, but it's a 25-minute walk from Broadway. Martin's, he said, is good, which is probably where I'm going to end up. But he says barbecue in Nashville is overrated, he says.
Oh.
You're better off going for the tacos or Tex-Mex. He says they do that really well there. And he mentions St. Añejo, which is a 20-minute walk from Broadway, and Red-Headed Stranger, phenomenal and unique taco spot in the East.
That's interesting.
See, I never knew Nashville to be like for barbecue either.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Ribs in Tennessee?
Memphis.
Memphis.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
And then he says, although
Nashville hot chicken sandwich is different.
Thank you for
There you
bringing
go.
that up. He says, although not the
Go to
most
Chick-fil-A.
popular spot, Bolton's in the East has the best hot chicken.
There you go.
And Butcher and Bee in the East is considered one of the best restaurants. Lastly, you should try Daddy's Dogs when you're at the game on Sunday. Get the
Daddy's
Big Daddy.
Dogs. Hell yeah.
And also,
Get the Big Daddy. You
Great
missed that
names.
part.
some information about the party at the Live Oak. Person said it was 4 minutes away from Broadway. This person says that's misleading. It's actually a 25-minute walk from the main area of Broadway. Excuse me. So
Yeah, right there.
some
Should I get you a bib?
yeah,
Okay.
just some recommendations for people going to Nashville. I think I'm going to go to Martin's.
That's a Paul and Fred thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on at that Big Daddy's hot dog place.
Is there?
We'll go to a place and we enjoy it,
Yeah.
and then people tell us about 8 other places.
Yep.
And we say
But
no.
we just,
And you're, eh.
but we just go. No, we went to that place. This is what we do.
You
we
like
go
what
there.
you like. If you know you like it.
Right.
If it's not broke.
No,
Don't
that's
fix
why I'm
it.
not making fun of Fred, because
Well,
I know if I was going, I'd be going with him.
I can't get good ribs here, so I'm going to go there. And they have good ribs.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I'm with it.
Big Pig Barbecue is pretty good ribs.
Big Pig?
Yeah,
Okay.
up in the
Uh,
North Shore.
I just had Terry Black's, so I'm like ruined.
ruined. The two
Terry
good.
Black's.
Terry Black's Barbecue in Austin.
Ooh, in Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Never been to Austin, so.
Well, if you ever go to a UT game, go to Terry Black's.
Did you
Get
go
it.
Did you
takeout.
go to a UT game when you were there?
We didn't go because Georgia was playing.
that
it
was
was
the
2
night?
weeks ago. Georgia
Yeah.
was in town, so it was insane. And we aspired to go to a tailgate, but it was so crazy that
All right.
couldn't do it.
Martin writes in from Quebec City. I've heard you say a couple times that you really don't want to end up with the first overall pick because we'd be stuck with it and that the sweet spot would be something like top 7. Other than all the losses needed to get the first pick, are there any other reasons why this wouldn't be a good thing for the team?
No, I have no problem with it. They get the first pick. If it ends up that way, I'm just saying you don't have to have it.
You don't have to have it. And if you do have the first pick and you don't need a quarterback, you could end up overpaying for a guy who's not worth it.
But you could also trade it
You could.
for someone who does need a quarterback and maybe get some extra picks.
Yeah.
I don't really have much fear of getting stuck with it, quote unquote. But I'm just saying, not needing a quarterback allows you to finish, to get the 4th pick or the 8th pick, and what's the big difference, really? Now, obviously, you want to have as high a pick as you can organically. You don't want to have to root for losses or anything like that.
Right.
I want to, bring up something that you brought up yesterday on the show, Fred, because you were, as usual, with a feel for the league ahead of the curve.
Wow, what was this?
Remember when you asked me the question, like, what about, the Jacina Anderson tweet about the Patriots potentially being buyers
Right.
at the trade deadline, and you said, what about a tackle? Is there some way maybe a tackle? You used Tyron Smith as an example, and I said, yeah, I mean, I would definitely be interested in that, but that'd be kind of hard. Then don't you know, a couple hours later, a starting tackle gets traded from Jacksonville and Cam Robinson. So I'm not saying that I would have, banged down the door to get Cam Robinson. Obviously, Minnesota has an urgency. They're 5-2. They picked him up. They lost their starting tackle in Christian Darrisaw, so they made a move. But that's exactly the kind of trade that you were talking about.
Yeah. But
I'd have been interested in that.
Sure, as long as he can stay beyond this year.
Yeah, and I
Right.
don't know I don't know all the details of his contract, but even if you pick him up and then you have him for half a season and you can sort
Yeah,
of
if it's the money's right, yeah,
you
absolutely.
sell him on it
Yeah.
and see if you can
and we
work
were
out an
talking
extension.
about it just be good to have him here this year so that Drake can have a fair shot at, being evaluated.
Yeah, it would help.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Vidarian Lowe he's done okay filling in. He's missed
He's
missed half the games.
Yeah.
And I just think that you need better.
Yep.
You need
Some
more
stability.
Yeah, I would either want a young guy that they drafted that they're grooming to try to get there, or I would have done the Fred route and either signed somebody in the offseason or look to acquire someone now. But I just thought that was interesting that Freddie, again, ahead of the curve as always. Sniff. Cam Robinson.
Brian in Plymouth writes in, before this year, we'd have heard from the GM by now because Bill was head coach, GM, chief cook, and bottle washer. Even if Bill wasn't answering, he at least had to face the music. Wolf has been absolutely silent. Do you think we will get some availabilities from Elliott or others on the leadership team, especially with Uche going, rumors percolating, and heading into the trade deadline? Please, Paul, please let the others respond before pointing out some hole in my question.
No, I think people have me so wrong. That's a great question. That's a great question.
I don't think that there are some teams where the GM talks regularly, right?
Yeah, because Caserio does.
Yeah, I don't think.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't think I need that myself, but I
at
think
the trade deadline, you don't need to hear from the guy who's
you didn't
making
let me
moves?
finish. Thank you, Brian. Thank you.
No, I'm with Brian.
I was just going to say, with the trade deadline coming up, I would think this might be a good week to make him available.
Well,
or Monday.
Yeah, or after the trade deadline.
Yeah, but around this time.
I don't need him this week. I need him after the trade deadline.
So, and I don't need him every week.
No, I don't.
Maybe had we acquired someone instead of dealing Uche, come in, talk about why you wanted this guy, why you made the move, but
Brian makes a really good point, and I'm not just saying that because he was expecting me to jump on him. In the past, trade deadline leading up to it, when it happened in the aftermath, you're hearing from the decision maker in Bill Belichick. that's not the case anymore. So I think you do need to adjust a little bit. And we haven't heard from Elliott since training camp.
Yeah. Josh and Turner's fall. Oh, look at this. Look at this.
Look who's back from the locker room. What was the mood? Were the players friendly? Too bad none of them look like Derrick Henry. Hey Mike, what was it like in the locker room? Hey Mike, what was it like in the locker room?
All right.
I'm
so
speechless.
Are you supposed to be Drew Bledsoe?
94 Pats fan, Fred. Thanks.
94
Just a
Pats
94
fan?
Pats
Just a
fan?
94 Pats fan?
Came back. I better
You
get my
actually look
microphone
like
here.
you look a little like a guy that was in the stands on Sunday. I don't think it's really 94.
Paul's 94. We got year 2 of Drew Bledsoe. We're ready. I think we're gonna make the playoffs this year. Hasn't been a great start, but I'm feeling pretty good.
Only because you're a stickler for the detail.
Yeah.
That's actually 95.
Ah, no.
I did not wear that shirt in 94.
No. I had to. I've been waiting for this wig. I've had it for a while, and if you can see, party in the back, business up front. But I had to hang on to this one.
5
It's,
and 11 in 95, right, Paul?
Is that the wig you wore in the
95?
I'll Miss You
6
Brady
and 10.
video?
Yes, it was very good.
Wow.
Very good eye, Alex. This has been with me for a long time. I couldn't let this wig go away. So
That the Brady.
The Brady
yeah,
wig.
I won't forget you,
Oh yeah,
Brady.
it's a
That's
beaut.
great.
It's a beaut. Right? I know. I won't sing. Don't worry.
That's beautiful.
Did Evan dress up? Should we be expecting anything from Evan?
I don't know. He might be keeping it.
Well, the last I heard from Evan,
Evan
he
seems
was
like the buttoned-up type to me.
he was on Playbook yesterday, and John Rook asked him what his favorite candy was, and Evan's response was, "Why?"
Really in the spirit.
He did not. He was
He's
not
a film.
aware.
I have to say, my glasses are fogging up, so I got a newfound respect for our
no
for our
sound?
pre and post game show. My glasses.
What is like? It's not hot in here.
I don't know.
Like what is that?
I don't know. I guess we're lucky. Paul, do
Yeah.
your readers ever get fogged up
No.
while you're doing the picks?
No, and I agree with Fred. It's not overly warm.
No.
Even today, it's unseasonably warm here in Foxborough. It's
It sure is.
But the
knocking on the
building's
door of 80
cold.
degrees.
I just got some news that my son in high school has some hives on his face, and he's on his way to the doctor right now. So I don't know if that has to
Wow.
do with the heat. But
Paul has some news too. His son's got accepted into Citadel.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Citadel. Huh?
So your son has hives, and his son's going to be a Marine. So I mean, you know.
Wow.
You know
Yeah.
I'm very torn.
about the hives.
I'm incredibly proud. This is what he wanted to do, but I'm obviously incredibly scared too.
Is that
Oh,
it?
no.
Done deal? That's where we
He's,
want to
I think
He's an officer.
so. We'll see.
Everybody else will go
Yeah.
do
The other
dirty
school,
work.
the other schools that he applied to, we haven't heard back from yet. The Citadel is one of the early. They have rolling admissions, so even early action comes out quicker than most of the other schools. So he hasn't heard from the others. Maybe when we get all the financials, he might change his mind. But we'll see.
There you go. Where's the Citadel?
Charleston,
South Carolina.
Yeah,
Wow.
and I
All
think
right.
that's great.
So
All right.
Coastal, he's also one of the schools. Coastal Carolina down there.
Beautiful, fun down there.
University of South Carolina, High Point.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot. Elon. There's a lot of schools he hasn't heard from yet.
You guys know the
But
area.
that's where he's
Yeah.
going, down in
Yeah.
the Carolinas somewhere. Did not apply to a single school within New England.
Get
Why?
that
Let's get
far
away
away.
I'm leaving you, Dad.
Should
But
I,
yes, I'm very excited for TJ.
That's
I
great.
am very, very proud.
Yeah, that's really
Cool.
good.
And I'm hopeful my son's hives aren't a big deal. So.
Speaking of hives, I'd watch your face after having that straggle.
My wife is so
Yeah, where
grossed
was
out
that
by
in
this
storage?
thing. She goes,
Yeah.
it's definitely smelling a little basement-y.
Oh, I
but,
should have given you a hairbrush for the other side
yeah,
there.
it's not going to work. But if you stay tuned for the second half of the show, it's reversible, y'all. So,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
So
I'll be
I
away
had
game.
2 separate Bledsoe shirts
Yeah.
of that vintage.
It's classic, right?
I had a white and a blue.
Yeah. Well,
Oh.
stay tuned for the second
There you
half.
go.
I'll switch it up for you guys. You want a real locker room report?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's get to the locker room.
Yeah, talk to rookie Willie McGinnis. No, just kidding. I'll stop the bit. No, we
95. She's wearing a 95 shirt.
we heard Vidarian Lowe came in and talked a little bit about the offensive line coming in together, and it's just the same thing every week now. It's consistency. It's trying to play good fundamentals and consistently do it, snap in, snap out. So he came and talked, so I thought that was a good sign that he should maybe be able to play. Usually those guys are hidden. Mike Reese was pressing him, but he couldn't get it.
Yeah,
couldn't get it out of him.
I have long since put that aside. The whole if he talks, he plays thing. There's been way too many examples of both ways. They talk, they play. They talk, they don't play. So I now ignore that. But what I don't ignore is ankle now and shoulder on the injury report.
Head, shoulder, knees, and toes.
Yeah, so not good.
He's been dealing with a lot, he said. I mean, he's had a knee problem. He's had an ankle problem. Now he's got a shoulder problem. Was there something else,
And
too?
I felt
Was he
like when
concussed?
Gerard was asked about it yesterday, you and I talked about this when we were going back and forth to the press conferences. I thought Mayo sort of, he was asked, how comforting it is to have that same group and, the possibility of keeping them together. And Gerard was really lukewarm on it.
Right, right. I know. That's,
I mean, that's the idea. You'd like to think you'd have 5 guys that could, start, but it didn't seem like overly confident.
No, it wasn't the vibe of like, hey, we finally got our 5 in there for another week. Like,
so
it felt
I
like
am a little worried. I
again.
think he'll probably try to give it a go.
Yeah.
Vidarian Lowe will try. Lowe will give it a go.
Lowe will give it a go. Marcus Jones, too, heard from him. Wants to return a punt, return a punt for a touchdown. He felt like he let the guys down.
I want him to, too.
Yeah, and he said,
I think
Pellegrino.
there's a good chance in this game.
I don't know if you caught Pellegrino, but I guess Pellegrino really wants him to take a pick 6 back, because if he could just get his hands on a ball there playing cornerback, he's tough to tackle.
When
for the
he had
offensive guys.
the pick in the end zone against Houston. Remember, he caught the deflection. It was like in the back line of the end zone.
Came flying out.
And he starts running, and someone, I would blame them if I remembered who. Someone's like, what is he doing? And I'm like, what do you mean, what is he doing? That's the best offensive play they have.
Yeah, go.
Get the ball in his hands. You make fun of me when I say this. I legitimately believe he's the most electric return guy in the league. I think he's that good with the ball in his hands. So if he gets an interception, absolutely, I agree with Pellegrino. He's a threat to take it back anytime.
Yeah. Last point. Drake was in the locker room, so looks like he'll be
now that
ramping up. Maybe
now that I'm going to say is a good sign.
He was there yesterday too.
Yeah, I just didn't see him, but
It was brief.
yeah. So
What's any sense of the mood?
I was a little quieter today, just not as busy. Sometimes there's days where it seems like all the meetings end at once and everybody comes walking in at once, but it was a little bit more sporadic today.
I can't take him seriously at all.
Why?
Why not?
Why not? What about my look?
I like the scruff
really
too that you have going with
I
it.
know, I had to decide.
Gillette on strike.
I was going to go to get a mustache. I thought that might
the
really
Fu Manchu.
complete the look, but
You definitely need a goatee with that.
Yeah.
that's all right. That's
Just
all right.
like the
so.
one little patch though on the chin.
Soul patch.
Soul
is that-
patch.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I used to call it.
Okay.
That's all right.
Kid Rock.
I'll keep it up. It's getting a little hot, though. I'm
No
not gonna lie.
Sox emails the show. He says, Deuce, grow up.
Oh.
Yeah, was that because I was commenting about the glasses fogging up, or
Oh yes.
was that what it was?
Yes.
Oh, how dare you!
Josh in Turner's Falls, Mass. writes in out your way.
I love Turner's
He
Falls.
says
Bridge
in
of Flowers.
Sturbridge. You've been to Sturbridge, right?
Yeah.
The
What's
Village.
it called?
BT's. BT's
Yup.
Smokehouse. He
Can
says
confirm.
it's really good. Would
Alex
you agree?
endorsement. I do agree very much. I would say best barbecue in the state.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. I know where Sturbridge is, right off of the Turnpike.
Yeah, the village there.
Yeah.
Old colonial
Old
days,
Stur- I did that for a 5th grade field trip.
churning butter and the like.
Thank you, Matt. I always appreciate when I get a chuckle out of you.
It was a good show today.
Hey, it's Halloween. Should have had candy though.
Let's see. What else do we have? I don't want to do an over/under.
Why?
Oh,
Not yet.
I love
Adam
I love games.
Yeah, Adam in Virginia writes in. He says Evan's recent tweet got me thinking of what kind of Montez Sweat-like addition the Patriots could make at the deadline. I was wondering about Browns left tackle Jedrick Wills. Normally, I'd say there's no chance they let him go, but given their financial catastrophe with Watson, they may not be in position to give him the big money extension he'll likely command when his deal ends this year. Is this at all realistic, and would you have interest? I think this is the sweet spot.
I would have interest in
Right.
it. I don't know what Cleveland's situation is, what they think
Right.
of him, but that's the kind of that's
Yeah.
the kind of guy. I mean, you have a good proven commodity that's not 35 years old. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he can
Fred,
be
that's-
part of the rebuild.
That's the Fred theory from yesterday.
Yep. No,
do you think they have interest in, or do you think that they have interest in trying to stick with the guys that they brought in initially to, kind of prove that we believe in these guys, and for better or worse, maybe maybe against better
But at that
judgment.
position, they didn't do that. They didn't bring anybody in.
Oh, I know, but they still seem like they believe in it, though. And so
Yeah.
does it? If you go out and
Do
get
they?
somebody, does it? I know. Well, that's kind of what I'm asking. Like, I think we would all be on board for them acquiring another. I mean, they just depth alone. I mean, Vidarian Lowe's been, no matter what you think of him as a player, he's been banged up. He hasn't been able to be consistently out there.
He's
So
played half the snaps.
So for that reason, yeah, it makes sense. But I also wonder if they're just like, if we could just get our guys, we really do believe in it, and we want to show people that we had a plan and that it's gonna work out okay.
It's kind of hard to show people you have a plan when your current line includes a guy that was on someone else's practice squad 3 weeks ago.
Right.
It's not really much of a plan.
No, I mean, I hear what you're saying. I'm just
I
asking.
give Scott Peters, Scott Peters, right?
yeah.
I give
Strike
Scott
system.
Peters a ton of credit for, holding it together, but this is not a plan.
No, I don't know. I'm just curious if they look at it the same we do. The same way, the people on the outside look like it's been really bad, and you think you have a chance to acquire somebody like Minnesota did yesterday. Like, that's something that makes sense to us, but maybe I just wonder if it makes the same sense.
Fred
to them.
was on it.
Yeah.
Claire writes in, hello, everyone. Hello, Marine.
Hello,
Do you guys think the 2 games against the Bills being kind of close together is more likely to be a positive or a negative for the Patriots, especially considering how difficult it's been to have the same O-line together? P.S. Alex looks fantastic, as
My
always.
girl.
What with handsome Deuce
Giddy
and
up.
Paul, distinguished Fred, there's a lot of attractive over there today. Evan wasn't back when I emailed, but I'm sure he looks great too.
All right.
I don't
think it. The one thing that could matter about Buffalo is sort of the notion that a Week 18 game might not mean anything for
Yeah.
Buffalo.
Right.
Especially with just one bye now, it seems like Kansas City's, they keep the pace. They might run away with that home field advantage, and then I don't know if either of those games are really
But
going to
Buffalo
matter
could
all
have
that
like
much.
a 4 or 5 game lead in the division and have it all wrapped up as they
and
head
then they got to
in
go
the
to
middle
New
of
England,
December,
the last game.
It'll probably be snowing and
Oh yeah,
terrible.
That feels like rest Josh Allen, coming here with an away game, the
right.
last
But
game of the
otherwise,
season.
like the proximity of those 2 games, that I don't think has much of an impact on them.
Yeah.
Mal writes in, he gives your outfit a 10 out of 10, Deuce.
Right on.
Yep.
Right on, brother. 95 Patriots fan.
Yep.
I should have done my research. I didn't know. I feel like I failed because
So now, what's the difference? See if you can.
The striping. Do I have the soccer striping on this one? I think was that
No
this?
Elvis on the
Oh, yeah.
shoulder.
No Elvis
on the shoulder
used
in
to just be the
94.
11s.
Numbers.
Just the
Numbers on the
11.
shoulders in 94.
Justin says, loving Alex's outfit, but Mike has easily taken the cake.
It's a mullet wig. That
Hey, I
just
tip
wins
my
it by
cap.
itself.
I tip my cap.
Howdy, partner.
Howdy. Hook 'em.
I feel kind of like PFT commenter though, wearing
You
sunglasses on a
are
podcast.
giving big PFT
I
vibes right
kinda
now.
like it.
With the mullet too, his long hair.
And Alex is back. Now talking about things that I have no knowledge of.
He's
Another
the
part of my
best.
take guy.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's the funniest guy. On
I
Twitter.
don't know what,
I don't know what that is.
Gary's meaning here. He says, Milton is the backup quarterback Sunday, right? So who is the third emergency quarterback? No.
What
If May plays,
Yeah.
Brissett's the backup.
Yeah,
But,
but
I
if
think
no
he's-
May,
I think he's saying if May doesn't play, but then you don't have a third quarterback.
Right.
That's
Klubter
fine. You could be
Henry.
like most of the other teams.
yeah.
It'll be Paul.
Oh,
I think it would be Hunter Henry.
get your hands under a butt. It'd be
Hunter
pretty
Henry's throwing a lot of passes at practice, but evidently been doing that all season.
good. He would always he'd hop in like the when they do some of those competitions, like trying to hit the crossbar or trying to hit the garbage bag.
Do you think it's more like they're actually practicing just in case, or more just like for
No, I
fun?
think the fact that he's been doing it all year, which I just learned yesterday, probably just tells me it's what Deuce said. He just kind of likes, playing around.
screwing around?
Jeff in Canada writes in, I do believe that the listeners could get behind a GoFundMe for Paul's new car campaign.
I do too.
However, it would need to have a permanent bumper sticker that reads, honk if you love NSYNC.
Yes, yes. I actually do like NSYNC.
As for the game, because the team has been cautious already with
It's
Drake
gonna
since
be
day one,
Maggie.
and they're 2-6, it would seem odd to rush him back to play in a meaningless game against the Titans and risk a setback. Let him sit, and maybe we even see some Joe Milton in this game just because it would be fun. No.
So why?
No.
I would just say this: that, why, if he plays, does that mean he was rushed back? Because there's only one way he can play, and that's
Right.
if he's cleared by
If he's-
independent
Right.
If
neurologists,
he's
Right.
symptom-free.
right?
Yeah.
And from Mike Giardi's tweet today, it doesn't sound like it was a very, like, it didn't sound like he really had symptoms. And that was what Giardi was kind of implying of, didn't sound like he was suffering from a concussion. It was kind of like he got popped and probably didn't pass the test. But it just doesn't seem like he's, in the dark room kind of situation.
I don't have any idea about any of that. I always take these things at face value. If a guy is, deemed to have suffered a concussion, he suffered a concussion. But if he's also deemed to be cleared, I don't look at it as any better or worse chances of another one coming. Now, I understand that when you get a concussion in general, you're more susceptible to, ensuing problems.
That's what they say.
That's what they say, right? But I'm not necessarily sure that if I suffer a concussion on Monday, I have a less of a chance if I wait 2 Mondays to play as opposed to 1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And if he can play, there's only 9 games left in the season. These are gold for him and this experience that he needs. And he needs to play these teams. And he, needs to get experience on the road. And, I mean, would this be like his first standard road game as a starter, I would guess, right? Right? I mean, he was in England, but
that's a road game.
First kind of, but like kind of special circumstances.
Okay.
You're there early.
Yeah.
I mean, this one you're going in
standard.
Saturday, right?
Yeah,
like, I mean,
normal.
I know it's not.
Yeah.
Oh my God, how does he deal with it? But it's just checking boxes
Listen,
off. It's
exactly.
things that he's done,
That's why I want him to play. The more he plays, the better he'll have.
I'm just selfish.
Experience.
I want him to play because I like
It's
watching
more
him
fun.
play.
I know, me too.
Very
Right.
fun.
Robert writes in from Bellingham. I just want to back up Paul on his dislike of the Dodgers. I had the unfortunate experience of having to live in L.A. for a couple years. I arrived in 2018, the year the Red Sox beat them in the World Series by striking out the world's biggest chode, Manny Machado. I'll never forget their local news complaining about what a dump Fenway is and how the visiting team dugouts smell like pee.
Oh, that's accurate.
Yeah,
I can tell you from being in it.
I guess they hate historic landmarks. They literally complain about this on their sports segment. They have an air of superiority that makes any LA team fun to beat. Besides, everyone knows that New England sports is far superior to LA sports. Thank God I don't have to live in that hellscape.
No shade to any of
That
our
is
LA
100
callers.
100% true.
But to talk about the scent of anywhere in Boston compared to LA is just
Fenway Park is
comical.
among the most
I
vile
know
places
that,
ever.
but so is
It's
like
gotten better.
But it smells.
Well, certain areas. I mean, they
One of them is the one he's talking
The-
about.
the
That guy
visiting
was talking
dugout?
about.
Well,
It's bad.
They used to have the troughs there in the bathroom
Yeah.
too.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
It's rite of passage.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing like that sewage that comes up from the dugouts when it's raining, when it rains a lot.
you see the concert footage recently of the rained out concerts, and it's just all people in the tunnels, and it's just flooding like a waterfall.
That's not normal.
I don't know.
No, but the Boston sports fan, the whole Boston sports scene. I mean, LA is not even
close.
They're not even in the top 100
Only in the playoffs.
It's so different.
comparatively.
I know, it's so different. It never made me mad. I mean, even when the Celtics were playing the Lakers in the finals in like 08, like it never upset me. Like they don't care. They get on the bandwagon, and there's a lot, but there's not the Felger and Maz out there. There's none of that kind of dynamic. It's a team gets good, and then there's always diehards for each team. There's Kings have diehards, the Dodgers have diehards.
I would say the
Clippers have
Lakers are the
diehards.
best fan base of any LA fan
Yeah.
base.
I mean, look at the LA Rams. It's like they win the Super Bowl and like
No one cares.
I know, and now
really
it's
that
just
much.
right back
And the
down
people
to
in St. Louis, do they even care anymore?
right.
No. I care.
You want to play a Who Am I game?
Sure.
So the way this works is I start giving you hints. You can blurt out your answer at any time, but once you are wrong, you're out for that round.
So, be judicious.
Yeah.
Judicious.
Be careful.
Judicious.
One of those words I can't say.
Jiu-jitsu.
How do you say that?
Judicious.
First one. I only won one Super Bowl with the Patriots, so that could be a lot of people, right? I'll move on. 2, I was drafted by 3 professional sports teams, 1 NFL team, and 2 Major League Baseball teams.
Lawyer Malloy.
Correct.
Wow,
Yep.
I did not know that.
Next person, my 12-year career spanned 3 teams, all in the AFC. 12 years, all in the AFC, 3 teams. I played in the backfield at Penn State. My lone Super Bowl win came with the Baltimore Ravens in 2000. Wow. I figured Paul would
Ben
get this by
Coates?
now. No.
Damn it.
Savannah State. Or South
I was
Carolina
drafted in the 8th round by the Patriots in 1992.
I should have gotten
So
this one.
12-year career.
So this
Hold
is
on,
the
hold
era.
on, hold
This
on.
is the era.
12-year career.
Yep. Was it at Penn State?
Out of Penn State, played his whole career in the AFC, and
Yep.
won a Super Bowl with the 2000. And I assume this is a Patriot.
Yep.
He was drafted in the 8th round, and he ended up on the Ravens 2000 Super Bowl winners.
Parcells
Wow.
cried when he got hurt.
Oh, yeah. Sam Gash.
Sam Gash.
Hmm.
Yep.
No points there. Fred gave it away.
I was elected to 6 Pro Bowls, all with the Patriots. My final season with the team was in 2000.
Bruce Armstrong.
Correct. And last one, my career spanned the course of 6 teams, including a stop in Europe. While with the Patriots, I attempted a total of 1 pass. I finished my college career as the all-time leading passer in University of Washington history. And finally, I won a total of 2 Super Bowl rings while with the Patriots.
Damon Heward.
Damon Heward is correct.
Jeez.
And then
I thought it was Damon Heward after the second one, but I wasn't sure that he only attempted 1 pass.
yeah, I thought he did more than that.
I did too.
Question for Alex. My wife and I just moved to Ludlow,
Oh.
and I wondered if you had any tips on restaurants we should prioritize. My wife is also from South Hadley and said that the youth soccer scene in Ludlow is pretty intense and wanted to know if you could verify this.
Very intense.
All the stories Alex could tell.
Very
yeah.
intense. Oh, we were talking about earlier, like what got you into sports, and honestly, it was like we're wanting to do this as a career, and it was kind of seeing how our community rallied around the soccer teams. It was pretty cool. Primavera is the answer. It's on East Street. Really good, authentic Portuguese restaurant. There's a new spot that just opened too. It's called like Barbarito. I've been wanting to check out. I would start with those 2.
Okay.
But Primavera.
Primavera. All right. JM writes in, Fred, I didn't know Zolak was going to be joining you on the show today. Deuce is a dead ringer.
I've gotten that before.
He has.
It's round.
Can confirm.
Round-headed. I mean, I don't have Scott's height, but I do have his round head.
Okay.
And the glasses. I think the glasses helps it.
Start like
absolutely.
burping.
Yeah.
Just burp
Yeah.
loudly and make just strange bodily noises.
Well, he'll be on the bus and, be quiet. And you'll just hear, oh! He just like wails, like for no reason. Oh! It's like, what is going on?
There's a lot going on.
Christian is LA on the TPX hotline. What's up, Christian? Are you out going to the parade?
Happy Halloween to you all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, so my question is, because we talked about sports journalism, what you guys really do. For example, would you guys go into Tennessee? Do you typically get there a couple of days early, where you have to scout where you're going to work, and maybe you get to go and check out the city, or do you guys stay a couple of days afterwards? How
No.
does that work for you guys?
When we go where, did he say?
On a trip, but he said
No,
to
for
Nashville.
Tennessee, we would go on Saturday and leave immediately after the game.
Yeah, in football, you're in and out of a city in a day, really. You get there typically the day before a game, and you leave either after the game that night or the next morning. Now, obviously, baseball, it's the whole schedule is set up in series and road trips. So you might have 3 straight 3-game trips, and you might go on a road trip and be in Chicago, Kansas City, and Dallas, in three straight
Yep.
weekends. But football, you're in and out.
Now, the exception to that is if you have a West Coast game,
Yeah.
you might leave on a Friday to kind of get adjusted to the time change.
And if you have back-to-back West Coast trips, sometimes the team stays out there, so you'd be out there for a week.
Yep.
We've done that.
We
Thanks
stayed
for
in
the call.
Miami a couple 2
Yeah,
years ago
Miami,
too.
we've gone
Miami
early.
for a week.
Miami, Arizona, we've done for
Remember that?
some extended stays.
Remember that practice?
I think Miami we went early because Linda wanted to go
uprights.
early. I think that's why we went. 'cause
See your Kill Bill uniform or
we were
costume?
talking about
Oh,
that
wow.
early. Yeah. Josh is in Dallas. What's up, Josh?
Hey everyone, I know it's Thursday, so we gotta really hurry. But
You are right.
it's Titans week 2, but I wanted to relish in the Jets win a little bit longer. I'm not sure if you saw Mike Greenberg's comments earlier in the week, but he said something along the lines of, he's obviously a big Jets homer, that this is like the biggest colossal failure in sports history or something like that. And I was just curious what you guys thought, how this season affected Aaron Rodgers' legacy long term. I think we've seen a lot of Hall of Fame athletes in any sport go to a different team and maybe just kind of have a mediocre season and retire. But him kind of being at the center of all of the organizational dysfunction as well as the expectations going into the season, I feel like really affects what his legacy is going to be. And to make it Patriots related, if Bill were to coach next year and something similar were to happen with some sort of organizational power struggle and bad expectations, how that could affect his legacy too.
I mean, as much as I would like to see it really hurt Aaron Rodgers' legacy, I don't think it will. I mean, I think everything you said, Josh, is absolutely right. I think he's been terrible, and I think he's a big part of the reason why it's failed. And I saw something that our buddy Rich Cimini, who we had on the show on Sunday, Mike, can't take you seriously.
Why?
Rich Cimini has did a pretty thorough breakdown of like sort of the last 3 weeks of just utter chaos.
Yeah.
That has completely unraveled the entirety of the Jets season, putting it all on Woody Johnson and obviously Rodgers, and comparing it to like, was it the 2011 Eagles and some of those Washington teams that Daniel Snyder tried to buy, and just this is right on par with any of the biggest failures in recent NFL history. When you load up and win in the offseason and get all that stuff and it just doesn't work out. I think there's a lot of examples, and Fred will be on board with this. There's a lot of examples of great players, Hall of Fame players, that went to another team late in their career and it was a disaster, and no one ever talks about Emmitt Smith's year with the Cardinals. Mm-hmm. No one really ever talks about Johnny Unitas finishing with the Chargers or Joe Namath with the Rams.
Right.
Like, I think that this ultimately will be a blip on the radar for Rodgers. I hope it's not, because I don't like Rodgers and I'd like to see this sort of stick to him a little bit more. But my guess is,
it's the Jets.
10 years from now, people are going to say Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay Packers, one of the all-time greats. They're not going to say Aaron Rodgers, he was a bum with the Jets. Just like Brett Favre.
Yeah.
Well,
the
stink of the Jets doesn't stick with Brett Favre.
Right.
The stink of him, swindling the state of Mississippi does. But
well, that's what's funny with Favre. It's like he didn't have any success
Josh.
with the Jets, and then he went to Minnesota and got to the NFC Championship with them.
But
I think
again,
they'll all just point to the Jets now.
But a lot of
Rodgers,
people are going
it's
back.
the Jets.
A lot of people are going back to Rodgers' career with the Packers and said they should have been better.
Of course they should.
Yeah. Should have got more.
And now we know why they weren't.
Yeah. It's a dink.
He's a dink.
Great word. Underused.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the New England Patriots. And as we see, Halloween has arrived.
Oh.
But there's nothing scary about Bob's Discount Furniture's Dare to Compare challenge. Bypass ghoulishly high prices when you dare to compare Bob's high-quality pieces for every room. From top-rated dining sets and relaxing reclining sofas to Bobopedic mattresses that cost hundreds, even thousands less than the competition. So stop in and see how much you can save when you dare to compare with Bob's Discount Furniture, the official furniture store of the New England Patriots. We'll take a break. We'll come right back. More calls and emails here on Patriots Unfiltered. Whether you're in the game or betting on the game, you'll need a game plan. DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the New England Patriots, provides you with everything you need to build your personal betting game plan so you can get in on all the action while practicing safe bets. Visit DraftKings.com/responsible-gaming to learn more about all the safe betting tools DraftKings has to offer. Hope is here, 800-327-5050 or gamblinghelplinema.org. Must be 21 plus. Play it smart from the start. GameSenseMA.com. Physically present in Massachusetts. See DraftKings.com/responsible-gaming for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources.
Isn't it time to get exactly what you want? Welcome to Red Hot Deal Days from Verizon, where you get your pick of our best deals. Like My Plan, where you can pick the perks you want and save on every one. For limited time, bring your own phones to a Verizon store and you can get My Plan for our best price ever. Get exactly what you want in your phone plan and only pay for what you need. Bring your phones to your Verizon store today and get My Plan. These deals won't last. It's your Verizon.
When someone accidentally threw away the school play costumes,
Oh no.
replacements were shipped with FedEx. And with picture proof of delivery, everyone could focus on the perfect opening night. FedEx, where now meets next. For residential delivery only.
Good morning. Just like every Wednesday, I always tell the players that's when it's an opportunity for us to change the page, which we have done. Like we wrapped up all the Jet stuff, went through the corrections, and now it's all about the Titans, which I think is important. When I look at that team, it's a team that they're really in a similar situation as us. They have good players. They have a good scheme. They just haven't been able to put it together as far as a record is concerned. Now, in saying that, they have talent all across the board. Like you look at their defense, it just starts with the front. They have a lot of good players up front, and it starts with Simmons. And he's one of those guys that's a huge disruptor. You go to the second and third level, you see a lot of guys with speed and flying around. I would also say they're a little bit unpredictable as far as the play calling on the defensive side of the ball, which is a huge challenge for us. And as I always say, we have to be able to see the same picture through the same set of goggles. Moving on to the offense, again, a little bit of uncertainty at the quarterback spot, which is always difficult to prepare for teams that, that have that uncertainty at the quarterback spot. They have two different skill sets, and saying that they've both won games in this league. When you look at their running backs, to me, it's a fantastic 1-2 punch. Expect to see both of those guys, and they can hurt you in the run game. They can also hurt you in the pass game, and they also have some big bodies up front. There's no question, as you go through the film, Zero Ridley, there's no question why he was one of the top free agents, and everyone wanted an opportunity to have him on their roster. This is a guy who is heavily targeted. At the same time, he's open a lot on film, sometimes doesn't get the ball, but he is open a lot on film, and that's going to be a challenge. And we talk about marrying up the rush and the coverage, and that's what we're going to continue to preach. For our team, for NEP, it's, I think it's pretty clear how we have to win games, and I think it starts with the turnover battle, first of all. And we had some opportunities last week, not to harp on those, but we have to take advantage if we want to get out of Tennessee with a win defensively. And offensively, we have to continue to protect the ball. Even though we are one of the top teams in the league as far as protecting the ball, we've had the football on the ground way too many times. Even though we recovered those fumbles, it's just been way too many times. And so those are things that we have to clean up. I'm sure there'll be a lot of questions about Drake. Drake is in the protocol. He's in the protocol, and he will be a limited participant today in practice. So in saying that, he will throw the ball at times in practice today, but he will be limited. There are people a lot smarter than me as far as clearing people with concussions, and we'll lean on our medical professionals and also the NFL league policy as far as getting him ready to play. I do have confidence that, as soon if the league says he's ready to play, that he will be able to go out there and operate. And in saying that, I feel very comfortable putting Jacoby in there, as he is a professional and always stays ready, as you could see from the last game. So however that plays out, we'll see, but excited for another opportunity to go out there and continue to get better. And I said, as we continue to progress, as the season goes on, we want to be better as the season goes on and be one of those teams that no one wants to play at the end of the year. And that's our goal. Fire away.
I know you said he wants to be clear and everything, but you said at halftime you saw Drake and said he wanted to play. Have you seen him, and what's his spirits like, and how's he look to you?
Yeah, his spirits are good. His spirits are good. They were good after the game. He actually threw a couple of dimes even after the hit. So he was upbeat.
Logistically, what are some of the challenges with having this type of situation going into weeks with the uncertainty quarterback?
We treat it as any other injury, and I would say like having a veteran quarterback like Jacoby kind of puts us at ease.
Can you kind of clarify who kind of flagged the hit and for Drake to be checked?
It was from up top, the spotter.
The spotter?
Yeah, it was the spotter.
And you said like Drake at halftime was kind of like, put me back in. He was feeling okay for the most part.
That's from my understanding, and when I spoke to him, he seemed like he was okay. But again, like I'm not an expert in evaluating head injuries, and the spotter identified it, and we just at that point lean on the league and their policy.
You said that he'll be limiting practice. Do you know what step he's in the protocol?
I'm not sure exactly what step he's in, but I know he will be at practice today.
If he gets cleared prior to this weekend, do you anticipate him being the starter if he is cleared?
Yeah, I don't want to get into like if he gets cleared. I mean, as you guys all know, like that stuff can change in a single minute, and so it's difficult to kind of get into that if he gets cleared.
Practice players of the week, or are we going to hold off on those for another day?
We do have practice players of the week. I'll give them to you. Yeah, I'll give them to you on Thursday.
Gerard, where do things stand with the wide receiver group, especially after last Sunday? And what's the confidence level kind of in that room right now?
Again, every week it's its own week, and we had a great meeting this morning, a great team meeting this morning, and pretty much, you have to clean those things up if you want to be a good football team, and they understand that. And I would also say that those guys have caught thousands or tens of thousands of balls over their career, and I'm not talking about the NFL. I'm saying like even from a little kid, and to me, it's just about continuing to push forward. And look, if you don't have the confidence in your hands, what can you got to ask yourself the question, what can I do to help our team win? And whether it's, blocking or whatever, and they come in bunches. So I think those guys will be okay.
What kind of challenges for Alex to have helped you in terms of having uncertainty around the quarterbacks in the game plan, fit you through with the different skill sets?
Yeah, I would say there are core concepts in general that all of the quarterbacks have to know. Especially on early downs. I would say as soon as, even though Drake will be a limited participant today, hopefully as we continue to go forward, the plays, like we have to see how the process goes, but hopefully we get to a point in the week where we can just kind of, iron out the details on who's the quarterback.
I understand this may be more of an Elliott question, but I was hoping to get your take on the trade of Josh, what you meant you guys felt he was here, and how you see kind of the pass rush moving forward with that.
Yeah, look, Josh is one of the first guys that, I spent a lot of time watching a lot of film when he was in college, and we still have a great relationship. I think it's better for both of us, and look, I wish him nothing but the best, but I think it's best for both teams.
Gerard, related to that, do you feel compelled in any way ahead of the trade deadline to have individual conversations with players or address it in a larger team meeting?
To me, the guys in there understand professional football, and they understand this time of the year. I would say from our perspective as an organization, we're always trying to get better, whether that's to bring players in or addition through subtraction. And we have to both look in the short term and also in the long term.
Where you guys are in terms of, your organizational trajectory, your rebuilding, would you be reluctant to deal away guys who might have valued other teams, but are, for lack of a better term, like program guys, like good influences, in your opinion, in the locker room?
Yeah, look, to us, it's always like we're in the business of bringing in good players and keeping our good players. I think you bring up an interesting point as far as like the culture guys, and I do think that's important. I also would say I think it's important with the coaches as well to bring in guys that really believe in the culture and where we're trying to go. So that definitely, we take those things into consideration.
Do you anticipate there being more moves or players traded off this roster by next week?
I'm sure. I mean, there'll always be moves throughout the league. Again, I'm not sure how active or inactive we'll be.
Back to quarterback. If Drake can't go and do start Jacoby, but is there any consideration bringing in another quarterback, or do you expect Joe Milton to be that backup?
Yeah, I expect Joe Milton to be the backup if Drake can't play.
Gerard, did you at all anticipate Caden Wallace returning to practice this week?
Caden Wallace will not be at practice this week.
So I thought of Marcus Jones and what he meant. He's a special team to him in defense, but how big of a weapon can he be, especially against a team like this?
Yeah, Marcus, even though he's a defensive player, he's one of the most explosive players in the league when he has the ball in his hands. And I would say even if you go back throughout the course of the season, there were times where he was very close to popping one. And in saying that, it's not all about Marcus. I would say those guys that block for him have also done a good job, even on that big return. Hasty threw a block that really took out 3 people and allowed him to really turn the corner. So looking forward to keeping that going.
Just to go back to the trade deadline, this is the first one for you and Elliott in the chairs that you guys are in now. So it's new for you. It's new for us covering. how often are you having conversations with him about guys who might be dealt, calls that maybe the front office has fielded, those types of things?
Yeah, we speak every day. I try to give him, part of our game plan on the football side, and we talk about the roster every single day.
Is it like the draft and that, you guys are pretty open? Elliott's got, final say when it came to who was being picked. Is it the same case now with the trade deadline?
Yeah, I mean, look, we look at the players. His staff looks at the players. The coaches look at their individual position, and we make a decision that's best for the organization.
You learned about Christian Gonzalez, through like the games that maybe you didn't know, going into the season just because he's played more, I guess.
For me, like what Gonzo is doing is what we fully expected him to do. The funny thing, look, he's a quiet guy, but he's a competitor. Did you listen to the mic'd up? That's the most you're going to get from that guy. But he's a guy that goes out there and plays hard every day, and he's a great competitor.
Usually the most that you get from him.
And now, great moments in history.
Andrew used to go to the same gym as Andy Hart, right on Route 1 over here. And
Oh, do tell.
So we'd see him every morning before work. So he said one day at the gym there was this guy, and there was one of those big boxing bags, and the guy was like hitting it really hard and grunting and whatever, and like making a big scene. And Andrew was like 6:30 in the morning, like, what is this guy doing? So he was about to go to Andy and be like, check out this guy. And then all of a sudden, Andy, as soon as the guy was done, Andy went over and he started doing the same thing to the bag. And Andrew was like, I was literally like seconds away from being like, hey, check out this guy.
So that's part of Andy's routine that he never really told us about, the heavy bag. We didn't know that was something he uses, the heavy bag.
And Andrew was about to make fun of the other guy.
So he must have to stand really close with those short arms.
Yeah. That's another great moment from
back here on Patriots Unfiltered, 855 Pats 500 is the Ace Ticket hotline. No. Podcasts at patriots.com is the email address.
Mike
James
is now on the road.
James Pettigrew, the most interesting Patriots fan in the world, says, is it podcast or podcasts at patriots.com?
Clogs
it's driving me
or clogs?
insane every time I hear you say it. It's plural. Podcasts at patriots.com. So, more than one.
There's many
podcast.
podcasts.
So, yeah. So now you're away.
He's on the road.
Yeah, I'm on the road now.
Yeah.
On the road again.
I'm surprised back then they didn't actually make the players wear reversible ones to save money.
Ixnay, bro.
Makes it easy, but it's a little thicker though,
Who was the owner when they wore that shirt?
Orthwine.
James Orthwine.
Who was the owner when they wore that shirt?
Oh, this one, 95?
Yeah.
Well, he just bought it. You know?
Yeah.
Bologna sandwiches. Remember Pete Carroll? Yeah.
This is good. I don't need these uniforms back though.
He's just not. He's not good for me. Him.
Tim writes in, it's
Trying to
such
get
a
you in
relief to
trouble.
know that guys like Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Judge, and Garrett Cole can rack up as many regular season accolades as they want, but they will always choke when the lights are brightest. I never had a doubt that the Jets would crash and burn this season, and I never thought that the Yankees had any chance at this World Series. Those are two soft teams.
Yeah.
So there you go. New York is
Take
soft.
that, Fred.
New York is soft.
How's your Judge now?
I like Aaron Judge.
Did he break out of his slump at all? I know they lost.
got a
He
home
did.
run.
He
get a
hit a
home
little
run.
bit in
Yeah.
the last couple of games, but
Too late.
he dropped a routine fly ball. Like
I saw the play where they could
that
have
opened up the dam.
as routine a play as I've ever seen a Major League Baseball player not make.
Yeah, and kind of the same thing with was it Cole didn't cover first on that one
Oh yeah,
on that one
It
play.
was a comedy of errors. The whole inning. You get the
Weren't locked
leadoff
in.
hit, and then Judge dropped a fly ball. Then there was a ground ball to short. They threw it to third, and Volpe threw it into the ground. So bases loaded, no outs, up 5-0. He strikes out Ohtani. He struck out Gavin Lux for the first out. Then he struck out Ohtani. And he's got Mookie Betts. And he hits this little dribbler to first base.
But it had a lot of spin on
And
it.
Garrett Cole didn't cover first. So all he had to do was run 4 more strides. And he's out of this bases loaded, no outs with no runs. And they're up 5-0. The game's over.
Yeah.
Because he was pitching lights out.
Yeah.
And he didn't cover first, so now it's 5-1. Freeman singles in 2 to make it 5-3. Hernandez doubles in 2, 5-5. You lose.
Yeah.
Yep.
You lose.
That cost him probably another inning that he would have been able to pitch easily.
I just couldn't stay up. I turned it off after 5-0. I said, all right, they're going to win. And then I woke up. I said, hey, Alexa, who won the Yankees game last night? And she told me, and I was like, wow. And she's like, yeah, that's what happened.
She's like,
we have a
crazy, right?
conversation.
I love when my wife gets mad at Alexa. Like, we have the voice-activated lights and stuff in the house, and like when she doesn't do it, like Lane will just be like, "Alexa!" Like she'll get frustrated, like mock annoyed.
That's how I voice text Will.
Yeah.
I yell at him.
Where are you?
Like he can hear it.
Just turned Alexa on in here.
Oh, my sorry.
Kyle and Pembroke's mad at me because I didn't do his over-under game, and I skipped over it to do Who Am I? So I'll do his over-under game. All right?
Well, good for you, Kyle.
Yeah.
Kyle.
Says Fred, please don't ignore it, please. Okay, I won't.
I will not be ignored, Dan.
Drake May total touchdowns 24 and a hay.
What?
Drake May total touchdowns 24 and a hay.
Under.
Under. I mean,
I'm
for
gonna
the
say
season?
Yeah.
Oh wait, well he's got 5.
Yeah, but there's only
No,
9
6.
games left.
6. He's got 6. Right? 5 touchdown
Is he gonna
passes and a
keep up
touchdown run.
3 per game?
Oh, okay, total for runs
So
too.
that's 6. He's got 9 games left.
Yeah.
It's not a bad number.
No, well, it's making me think now. First, I kind of.
I'm going to say
felt like
over
too
just to
much,
have
but-
fun.
No, I don't know. I'm going to say under.
I'm gonna say under.
Under.
He had 6 in 3 games.
Yeah.
Drake May passing yards 3,000.5. So you get the hook.
3,000?
Yeah.
How many you got now? Is that on your?
I'll take the under on that.
I think so too.
He's got 564.
Oh, jeez.
In 3 games. He's got
Yeah, he's doing about 200. Nah. I don't think so.
Yeah. So he needs another 2,500 in 9 games. Do the math.
No.
So it's over 250 yards a game.
No, you do it.
Less than 300 though, so
Yeah.
But
maybe not crazy.
Yeah, I just don't think he's going to play all the games.
Right.
Oh.
No, I hate when you say that.
Gonzo interceptions 3 and a hay.
Under.
Yeah. They don't throw at him. He's too good.
Yeah.
They've thrown at him quite a bit.
Fine.
Patriots pass catchers with 500 receiving yards, 2 and a hay.
Oh, jeez.
2 and a hay.
I'd go under with 2 of them.
Under.
Yeah.
I'll say they'll have 1.
Yeah, but
One.
if you said Drake
Nah.
over 3,000, then maybe you have to consider that.
Right.
Stevens,
Oh, wait, how many? 500?
500 yards.
Oh, yeah, I'll take the over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stevenson rushing touchdowns 9 and a hay. How many's he got
How
now,
many's he
Paul?
got? How many?
5.
Yeah, he could be
I'll
over.
say over
Yeah.
on that.
Hopeful
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, sure.
Stevenson rushing yards 950.
I'll take the
and a
over on
hay.
that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got 422.
Yeah.
He's got to get going.
And nowadays, with 17 games, 1,000-yard seasons aren't really what they used to be.
No.
Yeah.
Now I think 1,400 is kind of.
Kind of the same with 3,000 yard passing seasons, right? Like, didn't
Well,
that used to kind
3,000
of
is
be
nothing.
that used to be the
4,000 is the
benchmark,
number.
right?
Oh, for passing?
4,000 is the benchmark.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, didn't
But in the
3,000 used to
17
be?
game, you can get 5,000.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy.
Which a couple people did.
Right. Now, I don't think anybody did it last year, though.
Yeah.
Yards has kind of been going down with the, the cover 2.
No,
The 2 deep.
Don't do that.
2 high safety look.
Stop. You don't know what you're talking about.
Tony
Some
and
boundary safety, post safety,
You can't just say words.
No.
Tony and
Works
Pot
for
in
Evan.
the UK. Tony says, loving Mike's look today.
Right on.
Would you rather
What a
win
look right there. Look at that.
Right on, man.
Would you rather win another 4 games but see little progress, or win no more wins, but the shackles are off and the team pushes the limits on O and D to try schemes, plays, etc., with no pressure on them, not coming off? Like,
I'd rather see the wins.
Yeah, me too. I don't know. Some of these questions I feel
but
like they don't
you
like.
see little progress in the wins.
But if they're winning, that's progress.
But I don't care if the shackles are off. If I'm not winning any games, I haven't made any progress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to win some games.
It's hard. That's like logically, it's hard to, with some of these questions to
Right.
how does this all happen? Like, they lose a bunch of games, but they're throwing all over the place.
Well, Tony says, for me, I'm no win, but understanding the strengths and weaknesses of the team from just trying things. This will help the team better understand the gaps in the squad and who they want to offer contract extensions to. So that's his opinion. Okay.
Yeah, that's your
And
theory.
back is Evan. Evan.
Has returned from practice.
What is he wearing?
Has returned from practice.
What's the costume?
Has returned from practice.
I'm a 95 Patriots fan.
Evan, I'm a little disappointed that you didn't wear a costume, or maybe that is tight pants, offensive coordinator.
Exactly.
How tight are those
exactly.
pants?
I'm just dressed as Kyle Shanahan. No.
Okay.
I have great news, guys.
Oh.
Drake May back at Patriots practice on Thursday
All right.
and participating in front of the media today. So
Nice.
we're making steps. We're making
We got
strides.
a guy!
It certainly looks promising. Leading off drills. Doing the QB1
stuff.
things.
Good
There
stuff.
it is.
So
Let's go.
I am not.
Drake,
I'm not saying
Drake,
he's cleared.
Drake,
All right, let's
Just
not
in
get
time
too,
for our picks.
let's not get too carried away just yet. But
Sorry. Too
he
late.
is. He was back out there and looked pretty good in the 10 minutes that we got to watch him throw the ball against air.
So that must have really lifted the spirits of the media corps.
It certainly lifted my spirits, Fred.
Yeah.
I can't speak for everybody,
were
but
guys like visibly excited?
Put
Were
a
they
little
like
wind in the
high-fiving each
Cheering.
other?
There's no cheering in the
Chest
press
No
box.
cheering?
There's no
There-
cheering
I
in the
heard there
press
was
box
last
this
week.
time. But yours truly was a little giddy on the inside
Yeah.
for sure. Very excited
I'm cheering.
to see that, and to see that even if this week doesn't happen, it doesn't look like it's going to be a long-term issue for him. And I should also just mention, I know we obviously Drake's the story, but they had perfect practice attendance out there today. So
Right.
Vidarian Lowe is back, Drake was back, and Jaquan Roy, who popped up on the injury report yesterday as a DMP, was out there for media access to practice. The one guy that I would say looked pretty limited was Christian Ellis. He looked like he was spectating today from what
It's
we
too bad
saw.
because he's coming off a good game.
Yeah, but that's it.
Okay. Unseasonably warm out
Just
there.
incredibly warm out there, Fred.
Guys in I'm talking media now. Guys
Yeah.
in short sleeves.
Shorts,
The flip-flops?
shorts,
Were the flip-flops
shorts.
out?
It's 80 degrees, Fred.
We're looking at
But no flip flops.
Did we see
right?
any
Tell-
toes?
tell
no
me
no
one had
dogs,
flip-flops.
no dogs
Thank
out.
God.
Okay,
No,
cool.
that I saw.
I hate the flip-flops.
But definitely
in
training camp outfits.
Yeah.
Polos and khaki shorts.
Sunglasses.
Maybe some sunglasses.
Bucket hats?
I don't know.
Sunblock, hopefully.
Some sunglasses.
Yeah.
You do have to wear the sunblock.
You do?
That's a good
Yeah.
point.
Responsible.
Yeah.
Would
90s
you say
Patriots
over
fan.
time the media contingent has gotten bigger, the same, or smaller?
I would say bigger.
Really?
Since Drake May was named the starter, I have noticed, especially on Wednesdays when it's Gerard and quarterback on the same day, press conferences have been packed. I would say not quite, dynasty era packed, but definitely a lot more busy than what it was at the beginning of the year.
Okay.
Let's step back today. Yesterday was so full. There were
I
no
feel
seats
yesterday was
available.
packed.
I
Associated
agree with that on
Press girls
Wednesdays.
even there.
Wednesdays are packed to the gills.
Yeah.
But I think
Well,
it's
it's
less.
Chick-fil-A.
I think it's less on Thursday and
It's all
Friday.
about the
Chick-fil-A.
food.
Yeah.
Paul.
You got that right.
That spicy
I do
chicken
also
sandwich.
think you notice, and they were on the road last night, but you notice when the Celtics or the Bruins are in town that night and they're playing a home game that night, then there's a lot less media here
Sure.
on those days because they're going to go cover the TD Garden.
Right. You
that
get a
late.
full buffet there.
Yes, and you have the champs. So, that's
all about the
that's
food.
a
You
fact.
get me in trouble. You.
What?
You.
What?
You.
Full buffet, but it's like $5.
Oh, you have to pay?
Or it was $10.
For the Bruins one?
I don't know about the Bruins. I know the
Bruins-
Celtics you have to
Yeah.
pay.
Bruins,
Yeah,
do not,
Bruins
I don't
only had
remember
Red
the
Sox did it
Bruins
for a while.
charging.
The
Red
The
Sox
Red
had to
Sox
pay.
and the
Yeah.
Celtics. you
Yeah,
have to
Bruins
pay.
I thought too. I think it was $10, yeah.
Oh,
If I remember correctly.
It's funny. I
It's
don't
worth
ever
it.
remember paying for the Bruins, and that's probably the one team that I covered more,
Yeah.
certainly more than the other two.
I don't
Yeah.
remember having to pay for the Bruins either.
I
I
don't ever
don't-
remember
I-
paying for
the
the
I'll ask
Celtics
my
and the
Bruins
Red
people.
Sox
I did.
100%.
yeah, I know Celtics 100%.
And the
but I don't know
Celtics
about
get
Bruins.
like the step sibling spread compared to the Bruins. Like the Bruins have a popcorn machine, candy.
Oh, I love the
Like
popcorn.
even up in the Halo, they have a whole thing. This, like Celtics.
Because they own the place.
It's been a
Of
couple
course,
years,
you can't see
but
the ice from up there, but
Oh, the
It's
ninth,
like a- it's like
the,
a
ni- the
postage
ninth
stamp.
floor.
You know
I
what
know.
happened to me on the 9th floor once covering the Bruins?
Oh,
A
God.
drunk fan stumbled into the press box and was
Uh-oh.
just sitting next to me and Bridget Prue with a beer, just like cheering. Didn't get the hint
Sure it
that
wasn't Zolak?
No, it certainly
That's
wasn't.
right, meathead.
Because I would have been tweeting about it. But no, he just like didn't understand that he wasn't supposed to be there, and he asked me and Bridget and said like, "Hey, am I gonna get in trouble for being over here?" And I was like, I mean, yeah, but like I'm not the snitch. But like, do you? But it was just
Do you?
I got kicked out of the 9th floor once. Yeah.
So I did that once.
Why was that, Deuce?
Well, I was working for Clintus actually,
Oh.
and I was with Jimmy Murphy, and not paid or anything, but I was his cameraman, quote unquote, and he was just like, just come up, sit there. So I would just, go up until they kicked me out. But I was like,
cannot
I'm a
take you
producer.
seriously
I need
right
to know.
now.
But then I had to sit in the media room, and it's not fun just sitting in the media room watching the Bruins game. I wanna be up on the
Yeah,
ninth
I
floor.
was there once, and that's where we were doing like the 50-50 thing.
Yeah.
So we were with like a youth group, and so we're sitting on the 9th floor. Once you're done with that, that's where you watch the game from. And they just have like a curtain that sort of separates everybody. So I walked over and I want to say hi to the fellas.
Yeah.
The people that Stevie Conroy,
Sup,
guy
guys?
that-
Stevie
no,
Conroy.
a guy that I worked with for 100 years. So I was like, I'm gonna go say hello. So I walked over, I sit down, and I'm talking to Stevie. He's and all of a sudden, like maybe like 15 minutes later, a guy comes up. 10 minutes later, a guy comes over and goes, "Excuse me, sir. You supposed to be, do you have a credential?" I'm like, "Oh no, I'm
Paul
sorry."
Carrillo.
Don't you know who I am?
Don't-
That's what you got to do. Don't you know
Don't
who
you
I
know
am?
from my shows?
So I was escorted out of the media
Wow.
area.
Don't you love
Parsley.
getting treated by like a second class citizen?
Oh no! The guy was totally right. I didn't belong there. I just just say hi to the fellas.
Yeah.
Kind of like you from Morale.
Yeah.
I need an explanation.
Of what? Of just the wig?
Just all of it.
I don't know. I just thought I've been meaning to wear this wig, and because I love it so much. It's as you can see. I
Do you
don't think I-
recognize the wig, Evan?
No.
Yeah, it's from I
I
Won't
did.
Forget You, Brady. I used
Okay.
Alex's keen eye.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
But you're
so-
wearing a Drew Bledsoe jersey.
Well, yeah, I tried to be a '90s Patriots fan.
He's
I
a
was going to be a '94, but then Paul's like, wrong jersey, Deuce, and I
Of
have
all people,
right?
I
I
know.
know.
Who's the stickler
I
for
know.
details on the uniform? That's the
I know.
95, 96
I
I'm
know.
version.
disappointed in
Well, I
you.
was trying to stick to like 30 years back,
97,
and
98.
Bledsoe's second year. I don't know.
Hey!
Oh, what
Look
do we
at
have
that.
up on the
There-
screen?
There's Paul.
There he is.
Oh my God.
It's Paul on the weekend.
Wait,
Is
that
that
was too
Camilla?
short. That was too short. Put it back.
It's the Golden
that's-
Girls.
That's the Golden Girls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I am.
How does the song go?
I'm the
How does
mother.
that- what is it?
Thank you for
being
that's
a
fun.
friend.
And these are,
Who's Betty
Yes,
White?
I was Sophia.
and these are all
Sophia
Who's
for
the
the
friends
other?
from Everett?
Who are your friends?
These are all.
Tell us about your friends.
They're all,
It's like
they're all-
Matt Patricia.
Who's the
on
blonde?
right.
They're all Peabody guys. So just
Where are they
in full-
now?
In full disclosure,
Where are
I
they
did.
now?
She single?
I did shoot out a text
Damn, Ma.
to all of them today. I said, "So if this goes on the air, like no one's gonna be upset about this, right?"
That's awesome.
So they all.
You look the
said,
most
"Nah,
happy
yeah,
of
good."
everybody to be doing it. Like,
I'm
did
a
you
happy
organize
guy,
it? Did
dude.
you
How could you
organize
tell
it?
which one was
Do you
who?
think I?
No, that's why I
organized
look
it?
like people.
Well,
Like,
you know, Paul is a rabid cross-dresser.
that's why I said this is just Paul on a weekend here. No, that's how I
I
go
didn't
out.
know that about you.
Oh
Paul.
yeah, no. Whenever he gets the
Yeah,
chance,
old lady
Yeah.
drag,
Okay.
just
Not
old
just
lady
Halloween.
drag. That's his
Not just
style.
Halloween.
You on RuPaul's
That
now?
was a good.
Yeah.
That was a
RuPaul?
good. That was
Yeah.
a good party
Yeah,
that
great.
night too. That was.
That'll be his new
That was a
nickname.
banger, Alex. That was a banger.
Paul's new nickname.
Yeah.
is
Sure
RuPaul.
was.
Yeah, hits the town with his
Evan,
old ladies.
if you
know?
could choose
Oh, boy.
a costume, what would you dress as?
Oh,
That's
Kyle
a good
Shanahan.
question.
I think you already answered that.
I'm Kyle
Connor
Shanahan.
McDermott.
I'm not big enough for Connor McDermott. Yeah, probably something in football related though.
Football
Yeah.
related,
Just
not,
some
not like Brad
Lululemon pants
Marchand.
and a
or-
Rams
No,
sweatshirt.
no,
right.
no.
That's all you
Something
need.
football related. I remember one year I went as Coach Taylor from Friday Night Lights. Like that one.
Oh.
That
All
was a
your
good one.
costumes were football themed,
Yeah.
weren't they?
Yeah, for the most part, you
Mm.
know. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
Bill B, you know.
Kyle Chandler.
Zach Taylor.
Big fan.
yeah.
Yeah.
Connie Britton.
Yeah.
It's your girl.
Bigger fan.
Yep.
Why's that?
Hot.
She looked like one of his friends on the picture.
All right. Well, listen, it is that time of the week. So, Paul, fill us in on what happened last week. 'Cause I have no idea.
All right. So, last week, Fred, I had no idea. 12-4, wins the week again. He has a
Yeah.
feel for the league.
Yeah.
Alex and Evan
You know, it's
right behind at 11-5.
I feel like we're always like the same.
Paul 10-6 and
not a
Mike
good week for me.
9-7.
Not a good year.
Well, I was leading in the.
not a good life.
That,
Man.
Wow.
what?
I would escalate
He's
that
had a charm life.
to HR.
He's had a charm life otherwise.
Charm
I
life.
would,
That's
I would
right.
escalate that.
That's right.
With the spread, again, Fred
Wow.
9-7.
Wow.
This is gonna be bad.
Followed by Alex at 8-8, Paul at 7-9, and Mike and Evan at 6-10.
I don't know how I'm so bad against the spread, but I'm somehow good straight up.
Because the spread is harder.
That's where the
I know,
men
but like
separate
it's a
themselves.
complete opposite. Like, how is that even possible? All right. Anyways, sorry. I digress.
All right, so the standings for
I
the
have an answer
season.
for you,
I don't know
but-
why it's hard to understand.
Alexandra has moved into a tie for first with
Oh,
me
Thank goodness.
at
Oh my
77
God.
and 46.
A lot of ground to make up. That
Followed
I
by
have.
Evan, 76 and 47, just one game back.
Not bad.
Then Fred at 75 and 48, and starting to get a little separation,
Yeah,
Mike.
yeah, what-
71 and 52.
I need a big week here.
With the spread, Kirsch stretches the lead, 67, 53, and 3.
Sheesh.
Followed by Mike, 64, 56, and 3, even with the 6 and 10. Alex, 62, 58, and 3, and then Evan and I are tied in the basement at 61, 59, and 3.
Still making money.
You guys get the poop
Still-
emojis in
still
the newsletter
making
this
money.
week.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now we move to this
Someone has
week.
poop emojis. Did you hear that?
Tonight.
The newsletter has poop emojis
Yeah.
for the loser.
Yeah, on the newsletter.
I didn't come up with it.
Yes, you did.
8:15 on Prime. The 6-2 Texans are at the 2-6 Jets.
The Jets by 1.5.
What?
Lot of
Is-
injuries.
Is
for
Stroud
the-
out?
No.
No, but everybody else
All
is.
his
Diggs,
weapons,
Nico
right?
Collins.
I think they have some injuries on defense as well.
So I kind of prepare my picks 1994 style, if that's okay. You know,
So this is a forfeit then because the Texans didn't exist.
Well, we're gonna go with it. We're gonna go
And
with the
there's a
Houston
bookie
Oilers,
listening
but
to that.
you know, I think Jack Party's probably gonna be out this year. Keep an eye on young coach Jeff Fisher, maybe making the entrance there. Of course, Pete Carroll.
1994.
Pete Carroll, like what he's doing with the Jets. You know, Boomer Esiason though on the downslope, but I don't know what to expect
Are we
tonight.
gonna do this
Is
for
that
every-
the
I'm gonna
year
do
that-
every single
is
one.
that the year they started off 10-1 and ended up 10-6?
Make your
They
pick.
ended up 6-10 this year, actually.
okay.
But all joking aside, man, it's tough because Houston does have some injured receivers, and you feel like the Jets are falling apart. But I'm going to take the Jets at home. I'll lay the
Really?
points. I don't know why.
I didn't see
I
that
just feel
coming.
like they're random. Yeah.
I feel like it was rock bottom for them last week, so maybe only up from here.
Maybe.
Jets, but Houston covers.
I'm taking the Texans. I can't pick the Jets in the game right now. I don't trust anything that's going on with them, and I still think the Texans, they have Stroud. I mean, they might not have all of his weapons, but they have Stroud, so I'm taking the Texans.
Yeah, I'm with Evan. I think that team has quit. I'll take Houston.
Yeah, that's the thing. Are they going to quit or not? So I'm going to take Houston because I think they are. I just think Rodgers is a mess. He's got something wrong.
The injuries do concern me, though, so you never know.
Okay. And what was the number?
1.5.
Yeah, so Texans, both ways.
They're underdogs.
Right. So they're going to win.
Correct.
1 o'clock on Fox, the 3-4 Cowboys are at the 5-3 Falcons.
Sorry. Big Head Heart texted me in the middle of the show. Dallas at Atlanta, you said?
Yeah.
Falcons by 3.
It's by
Wow, so
3.
you get 3, so it's toss-up.
It's a tough one. You know, I'm going to go with Atlanta at home. I'll lay the points.
I'll take the Cowboys.
Cowboys, yeah, okay.
It's a tough one. Cowboys got to stop turning the ball over, so
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Falcons at home in this game.
Yeah, I just think Dallas is a mess. I will take Atlanta, and even though they can't seem to play 2 good games in a row, but I think the Falcons are better than the
That's
Cowboys.
the problem with the Falcons. Do you trust them yet?
I don't trust
I
them.
don't,
I
but
certainly don't trust Dallas.
Right, so I'm
Don't
going to
trust
take the
either.
Falcons.
Can't trust them.
CBS, 1 o'clock. The 5-3 Broncos in a rare road game against the 5-3 Ravens.
Baltimore by 9.
Whew.
9.
Jeez. You know, Broncos won 7-9 in '94 this year. By the way, it's kind of the lull before
John
they got
Elway.
back. You
Yeah.
know, John Elway 7-7. You know, I'm going to take Baltimore to win, but I'm going to take the points for young Bo Nix. I think he's been playing a little better. Just don't like the
So-
big spread.
Baltimore / Denver.
Yes,
Same
please.
thing for me.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same thing until Baltimore really figures themselves out. I think that's a big spread.
Yeah, I can't lay that amount of points with that defense. Baltimore's defense is a mess. I will do the same thing.
So, again, what do the Sharps know? Everyone here, including me, says well, this point spread is too big. So what's going on? Is there something that we don't know about this game that they're giving the Ravens such a big point spread? I'm asking you, Paul Perillo.
Oh, no, I would just say the Ravens are a lot better than the Broncos, but their defense is really struggling.
Exactly.
So I have a hard time laying more than a
I
score.
have to say, unless the Sharps, this could be a signpost game, but unless the Sharps,
that was a signpost.
Unless I know something, I don't. So I'm going to have to tell you that this is your road dog point spread lock of the week.
Definitely.
So what is the pick?
Ravens, Denver.
Okay, after all that, you're doing the same thing as everybody else.
Yes, which scares the hell out of me. 1 o'clock on CBS, the 2-5 Dolphins are at the 6-2 Bills.
Buffalo by 6.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, Dan Marino, 33 years old. I mean, I think he's on the back end of it.
He really is.
But, Buffalo's been to 3 straight Super Bowls. Jim Kelly still got Thurman Thomas. I'm going to go with Buffalo, but I'm going to take those points from Miami because I think they're gonna start to score a little bit more with their real quarterback, Tua.
Yeah, they're riding for Tua. Buffalo wins. Miami maybe they just squeeze out a cover.
Yeah, I'm going to go Buffalo in this game. I don't know about the Dolphins. I'm not sure. They scored some more points last week with Tua back, but I still like the Bills to roll.
Yeah, I'm going to take Buffalo both ways, too. The Dolphins' defense has not performed very well. I'll take the Bills.
Folks, this is your straight-up upset of the week. Dolphins, both ways. Both ways.
How we get the Dolphins?
Marv Levy,
I think
out.
that would get the Dolphins back in the picture.
Yeah.
If they could pull off a road win like that, that might give them a little bit of a lift.
I would say so. 1 o'clock on CBS, the 2-6 Saints are at the 1-7 Panthers.
Ugh, what a game! New Orleans by 7.5.
Oh, jeez. Well, the Panthers didn't exist in '94, so don't worry. No bid on this one. I'm gonna take. I'll take New Orleans on the road, but I don't know. I'm gonna just take the points for Carolina. I think it'll be a close game between two bad teams.
I'll just go New Orleans straight up.
Yeah, these are two bad teams. I think New Orleans gets right, though, in this game, and I'm going to take them. I'm going to take them both ways.
I will take the Saints to win, but I will take the points with Mike. Saints really blasted the Panthers in the first game of the year. I think Carolina remembers that a little bit. I don't know if they'll have enough to do anything about it, but home dog, 7.5, I'll take it.
I will too. Saints win, but do not cover. 1 o'clock on Fox, the 2-6 Raiders are at the 3-5 Bengals.
Bengals, Joe Burrow has called this a must-win. Emphatically, must-win. Bengals by 7.
If Joe Burrow says it, then I'm going to believe him. Certainly he's better than Jeff Blake and David Klingler were back in 1994, so I will lay the points.
Stop.
I did some research.
I did some. How much time did you
Cincinnati
spend
both
on
ways?
this?
7 minutes. Yeah, I'll take Cincy both ways, please.
I'll take Cincy to win. Raiders. What's the spread again?
7.
Cincy both ways.
Yeah, it's a must win, but I'm gonna take the Raiders to cover this point spread. They last couple weeks they played games close, so I'm not gonna take the blowout. I'm gonna take Bengals to win, Raiders to cover.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bengals both ways. I think the Raiders just stink.
Yeah, Joe Burrow going out on a limb saying it's a must-win against one of the worst teams in the league.
They've lost to other terrible
I
teams
know.
this year.
Bengals do cover, though.
Stop
Bengals
it.
cover. I hate it, but they do. 1 o'clock on CBS, the 4-3 Chargers are at the 2-6 Browns. Big winners last week.
The Lack by 1.5.
Woo! I just love Jameis Winston so much. He's just so fun. I'm going to take Cleveland to win at home. Home dog.
Same.
Oh, wow. 2 Brown picks.
I'm going to take the Chargers. I feel like usually the backup quarterback gets that one game where he has, his time to shine, and then it comes back down to earth. So I'm going to take the Chargers.
Kyle Hamilton doesn't drop the pick this week.
Yeah.
Did
I
you
mean,
see
plus
that?
I'm just like not in.
tough.
I'm not in on Jameis like everybody else is. Like,
Did you see Jameis's quote? How
Well,
can
he
the
had-
sky be the limit when we put people on the moon?
he has too much fun for me.
He had 3 touchdowns, no picks last week. So
Yeah.
Right. Would stand to reason it's no touchdowns, 3 picks this week. I'll take the lack.
I like your thinking, Paul.
I will take the lack as well. Sunday at 1 on Fox. A lot of 1 o'clock games. The 6-2 Commanders are at the 2-6 Giants.
Washington by 4.
Washington by 4. I like that one. I'm a little tempted with the points. It's not like Dan Reeves is still there coaching in the Giants. Shout out, Aaron. But I'll take Washington, and what was the
4.
line? 4, and I'll lay him. I'll lay him.
Wash.
Yeah, I'm going to take Washington both ways. I think the Giants stink.
I think they do as well. I'm going to take the points, though, because I'm a little concerned about that whole Hail Mary and the celebration. And sometimes you get a little bit of a
Still- Yeah.
hangover
Mm.
from that.
Yeah.
So
Looks
I
like they
think,
won their Super Bowl.
I think Washington is good enough to win the game on the road, but I'll take the points.
Yeah, division game. I agree with Paul. But is there a chance that, this is just one of those magical seasons and the Cinderella Commanders get to the Super Bowl?
Well, I don't know about the Super Bowl, but you taking Washington both ways? Or the Giants?
No, the Giants cover.
Okay. That defense has played really well,
Yeah.
like the last, month or so for
Yeah.
Washington.
Yeah. All right. So now we skip over the Patriots at 1 o'clock and we go to 4:05 on CBS. The 4-3 Bears are at the 4-4 Cardinals.
Evans Frisky Cardinals by 1.5.
Ooh, that's a fun game.
It
That's
is
a
a
fun
fun- it is
name
a
to
fun
say.
game.
Yeah, maybe we'll be watching a little of that in the post-game show. I'll take the AZ. Take the AZ at home.
Okay.
Chicago, a little, similar thing after losing like that. I feel like now they got to travel. Might be down a little bit.
Spread one more time for me. I'm sorry.
1.5.
1.5.
Arizona.
I'll go with Arizona.
That's it.
Both ways. I mean, it's a very small
1.5.
spread,
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It'd be really ballsy.
I just wasn't sure if you had
gonna be
a
a 1 point.
take
They're
or-
gonna win by 1
She
point.
did-
My take is
Period.
She did do it earlier.
Yeah.
She crazy.
The
I
Jets.
wasn't
The
sure.
Jets.
Yeah, but I thought it was
Jets
3,
Houston.
and then I didn't correct myself, so I'm just letting it happen because I don't want to take back a
Bad juju.
bad juju. But yeah, I'm rooting for Chad Ryland down there.
How about
Player of the
Chad?
month.
How about our guy?
How about
Crazy.
Chad?
I'm actually really serious.
3
I'm
game
very
winners
happy
in
for
4
him.
weeks.
Yeah.
My theory is that Chad was in on the tank, and I appreciate him for it. I was grinding some Bears tape this morning, getting ready for next week, and
Things
Caleb.
I didn't expect to hear on this show. I was grinding some Bears tape this morning.
Yeah, and Caleb, I think is playing well, but a lot of it's Paul's thing. Like a lot of his big plays are out of structure, running around. It's not enough on time for me right now with his game. So I'm gonna take my Cardinals because I like the pesky Cardinals at home in this game. I just want to see a little bit more actual quarterback from
Okay,
the pocket.
before you do your pick, Paul, I'm predicting you're picking the Bears.
No, I'm taking Arizona
okay.
because of what Mike said. I think the opposite of the Washington thing. I think that's a tough one.
Yeah.
That's a tough one to just sort of blow off and get past.
I agree. I think that's deflating. So I'm going to go with the Cardinals both ways. They cover the 1.5.
Why do you think that I was going to take the Bears?
Because I think you're out to prove 2 things.
Oh, I think that's already been proven.
What?
That the quarterback can play?
Yeah, Caleb
Yeah.
Williams can play, and also that the
I don't
Cardinals
worry
aren't that
about
good.
that. Oh no, I mean the Cardinals are 4-4.
Yeah.
They like
Okay.
right in the thick of that
Oh.
NFC West race.
Okay. I know they're 4-4.
And I like Kyler Murray too. I think he can play despite the fact that everybody else wrote him off.
All right. 4:05 on CBS. The 2-6 Jaguars, who may not win another game after beating the Patriots, against the 5-2 Eagles.
Philly by 7.5.
Ooh, 7.5. Jackson, of course, trading tackle. I'm going to take Philly to win this one, but I'm going to take the points for Jacksonville. I think they'll be a little spunky against the Eagles, who are a hard team to get a read on.
Philly.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the wheels to come off in Jacksonville completely because last week they played the Packers pretty close as well. I don't think it's this week. I think Doug Peterson gets up to face his old team. So I'm going to give the Eagles the win, but the Jaguars cover.
Yeah, me too. I actually thought about taking Jacksonville outright, but I'll take Philly. I'll split it and take the points.
Yeah, I think the Sharps know something here. Eagles both ways. 4:25 on Fox. The 6-1 Lions are at the 6-2 Packers.
You have any update on Jordan Love there, Mike?
It does sound like it's trending in the right direction.
Okay, because I know he didn't practice yesterday, but it sounds like he's going to today, according to that.
Good sign for Jordan Love to be out there.
Detroit is favored by 3.5.
3.5.
Whew. And you said no Jared Goff.
Yeah, well, that was yesterday's practice because the tweet deck threw me, the late.
That's
a tweet from yesterday.
That's
was
the For You tab.
For You tab that I.
Gotta get off.
Yeah,
that.
no, I know. I just it came across my feed.
So is he playing or is he not playing?
Yeah, we'll see if he practices today. He did not practice yesterday.
As of 3 minutes ago, he's out at practice.
Yeah.
Ooh.
All right.
Okay.
That case.
Are we allowed to have like a what if pick on this one?
I don't think there's any chance that Goff won't play if that's
Yeah.
what
Okay.
I'm just gonna go for
I
it
don't
with.
think he's even injured.
I'm gonna go for it with Detroit. I'll lay the points.
But he could be. Maybe I don't know.
The Packers
Detroit,
are the
you
home
said?
team?
Yeah.
Who do you take, Mike?
I took the Detroit Lions, please.
The Detroit Lions.
Grr.
Pack at home.
Pack at home for Alexander.
Really outright?
Are they?
Yeah, they're underdogs
they're
by 3.5.
underdogs,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Lions. Packers, I don't know, haven't been as sharp. I feel like the last couple weeks, so I'm gonna take the Lions.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Lions too, both ways.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Lions. The way they're playing, momentum. Momentum's real,
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Lions. 4:25 on Fox. The 3-4 Rams are at the 4-4 Seahawks.
The Lar by 1.5. A lot of
Yeesh.
1.5s this week.
Yeah, I know, right? I don't like Seattle being a home dog, but I know the Rams have got their guys back. They're playing better. I'm going to take Matt Stafford on the road. I don't love it though. I don't love it.
Who owns who, Paul?
Who
owns NFC West?
I think the Rams own Seattle.
That's what I was gonna. I think the same thing, but I do not have the evidence.
I
But
just laughed because of that.
Yeah.
I've seen
Flashback
some
to like 2 years
some
ago.
of those Geno Smith throws that it all of a sudden looks like your thing where he can't play again. Like I don't get him. He's so hot and cold. Like he would pick the Patriots apart like he was on fire, and now it's like he's throwing balls straight to the other team. It's weird.
Lar.
Yeah, I can't figure out either of these teams. I feel like I pick them wrong every single week, but I'm going to go with the Rams here, and they've gotten a couple in a row against Seattle, so maybe they do have their number.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Rams just because I think they're healthy for the first time since week 1, and they look like a different team. As a result, I'll take the Lar.
Yeah, Stafford's playing well. I'm going to go with the Rams as well. 8:20 on Sunday night on NBC, Universo and Telexitos.
And Peacock.
The 4-4 Colts are at the 5-2 Vikings.
A terrible Sunday night game.
Yeesh.
Vikings by 5.
Joe Flacco in the Indianapolis Colts.
Joe Flacco. That's
permanent.
He played in 1994, right?
Actually, at this point, it was 38-year-old Warren Moon playing for the Minnesota Vikings. But Marshall Faulk on his rookie of the year campaign with the Colts.
I always forget that.
Sure, they could use him, but I don't know. I don't feel great about either of these teams, but I'll take Minnesota at home. What was the spread?
5.
5.
Vikings.
Yeah, I'm going to go Vikings both ways, too. I do think Flacco's spunky, but I just think the Vikings are a good team.
Yeah, and I think it's the kind of defense that bothers him.
Pressure.
A lot of pressure.
Yep.
Doesn't move as well. I'll take the Vikings both ways.
Yeah, me too. Vikings both ways. Monday night, 8:15, ESPN, ABC, ESPN2, ESPN Deportes. Why is it on ESPN Plus, I wonder? 4-4 Buccaneers are at the 7-0 Chiefs.
Chefs by 8.5.
Yeah, I'm going to keep doing what I do, which is taking Kansas City
You
to
do
win.
you, Mike.
Yeah.
Alex
And,
taught me that.
I guess I'll lay the points. Of course, in '94, this was Joe Montana, Marcus Allen, Marty Schottenheimer.
Of course.
You know,
Joe Montana's?
Trying to run it
The
back with
Chiefs.
some old guys, so not so much. Kansas City.
Casey covers.
Yeah, the Bucks have all sorts of injuries still, right? At receiver, no Mike Evans, no Godwin. So I'm going to take the Chiefs in this game. I'll take them both ways. Prime time, I think they show out, but they're not going to go 17-0, so they'll lose eventually.
Yeah, I'm going to take.
I think Buffalo in a couple weeks.
Yeah, that could be.
I'm going to take the Chiefs to win. I will take the points. I thought without all those guys, the Bucks offense, I thought your boy,
bacon.
He gave him a chance.
Listen.
He gave him a chance.
The league's better with him in it.
No one really understands that, but I'm going to take the points.
I will take the Chiefs both ways. I think they have a breakout game this week. So you're going to see the old Chiefs.
It's going to happen one of these weeks.
40 points.
Breakout game for the undefeated team.
40 points.
But
I'm talking offensively.
They haven't really played well, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
sure.
Yep.
Seriously, they
Yep.
haven't.
Seriously, though.
7-0 team.
Okay.
7-0. It's like
Sincerely.
The worst 7-0 team
we
ever.
have experience with it.
Yeah.
The 2019 Patriots
I was
were
gonna-
8-0.
I was just about to
was
say
waiting for it.
it's very 2019 Patriots.
Yeah, I don't think they were very impressive.
Yeah.
The difference is their quarterback still loves the game.
Ooh.
So.
Ooh, geez.
Wow.
Well, he was upset. He didn't want to be here.
Paul's jaws drop. Look at him, it's like,
I expect that out of Mike, not you.
All right.
What?
see?
Mike hates
I just
Brady.
don't like
Yeah,
this
I
whole
hate it.
Raiders ownership thing. It's
I was a
really
Bledsoe
bothering
guy.
me.
Oh,
It's not, clearly not sitting well.
I missed it. You gave me the clues. They were right there in front of my face.
He's
I
posting
missed
sob
it.
stories on his
There it is.
Instagram because of Giselle.
Okay,
Oh.
rightfully
He's
so.
on the fields.
Why are people making fun
Come
of him
on.
for
Dixie
this?
Chicks lyrics.
Because it's been 2 years.
Yeah.
It
Move
was
on,
his
bro.
wife for 13, and they have 2
All
children.
right,
love
so
of his
why do you have to
life,
go to
so?
the internet?
A landslide.
I
didn't
don't
say
really
you have
get
to
it.
have a party.
Damn.
Talk
about
to
it,
your
but
therapist. Talk to Alice Guerrero. Why do you have to like
Talk to
put-
Fred Kirsch.
Yeah.
They've kissed.
Yeah, I'm here. DM me, Tom. I can talk to you. I'll help you. Yeah.
All right, babe.
So anyway,
So
now we move back.
Nashville.
Now we move back to 1 o'clock on Sunday. The 2-6 Patriots are at the 1-6 Titans.
The Titans by 3.5.
3.5. Well, I'm going to get optimistic. I think Drake's going to play, and I like that. And I like the Patriots. I think they'll be able to put it together this week, and just hopefully they can continue to build. Sounds like they're going to get their offensive line back again. I know we talked about that. Love to get the run game going, but I don't think it's going to be easy with this defense of Tennessee. I think they might have to dominate the special teams and be careful with the turnovers. Maybe try to get a takeaway would be great. It's been a few games since they've had one of those. So, yeah, I'm going to go Patriots plus 3.5, and I'll say 20-16.
Patriots 27, Titans 24.
Oof.
Contingent
High
on
score.
Drake playing, and if he doesn't, I'll just eat it.
Eat it.
I believe Drake May is going to play. I believe this is going to be a breakout game for the Patriots quarterback. I thought he was on the way there against the Jets towards having one of those types of games before the injury. I think he wins. I think he wins handedly. 27-13 Patriots, and Drake May is the guy.
That'd be amazing.
I am taking the Patriots as well. I think that they will win this game. I do not think it will be a high-scoring game, though. I'm going to go 16-12 Patriots.
That's probably more realistic, but I was rolling.
I think they're two offenses that struggle. You never know. Turnovers could put some points on the board. Obviously, the Titans turn it over a lot,
Yeah.
minus 13.
There's just something special about when you pick another team to score 12 points. It's just a certain little twist of the knife that I appreciate.
I'm not even willing to say 4 field goals.
Right.
I think
6 safeties.
we're talking Booty, Pop, Ramondre, Hunter Henry, weapons. Patriots score 31 points in this game, and they're all from the offense.
Holy crap. You can do that?
31-22 Patriots. Cover easily on the road.
I hope that's the score, but there's like a pick 6 thrown in there, so it just slightly.
Because I'll just bust his chops. So what you said there was going to be all offensive points.
Wrong.
So yeah,
So you were wrong.
So we're all on the Patriots.
We're all on the Patriots.
Boy.
I think so.
And we all think
Homers.
Drake May is going to play.
Right.
Play well.
Can I ask real quick though? How does the panel feel?
You
Difference.
said it's 12, 13, 10.
Do you think he played well in the London game?
Yeah.
How many points they scored that day?
20, right? 16.
Try again.
There you go. I added 4.
Question for the panel: how does it affect your view whether it's Will Levis or Mason Rudolph?
I might up.
It seems like there's some question.
I might up. It's a 23-12 if Levis plays.
Yeah.
There's a pick 6.
Craziness.
There. Or not even a pick 6. It's I'm getting sacked. I'm just going to throw the ball over
Here you
there,
go.
and someone might pick it up and run it in.
Right.
Yeah.
4 lost fumbles, and
Give it to
it's
me.
not like he's getting blindsided as he's throwing. His lost fumbles are him trying to lateral to people.
Yeah, he makes bad decisions.
Really bad decisions.
I feel like it's a watered down version of the Patriots where, Levis is a better playmaker than Rudolph is, but he's got the volatility, whereas Rudolph just doesn't move the ball.
Well, we've got a couple more minutes. You heard Alex Van Pelt today.
I did.
I only read it, so I didn't hear the tone. He was, I thought, effusive about Booty and the decision making of May. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would, and I think maybe not so much the Booty praise, but
I just read it. I'm just telling you. Okay.
With Drake May, decisions have not been the issue. When he's run into issues, it's been accuracy, ball placement, overthrowing guys, things like that. I don't think I've ever really felt like, he's just not seeing it today. I don't see that from him at all. So it's good to hear Van Pelt feels the same way and kind of back that up, because that's what it looks like on film, is that he's seeing the field exceptionally well. They just have to work on his accuracy and get him to be a little bit more consistent throwing the ball.
Yep. Okay. Well, that'll do it for this edition of Patriots Unfiltered. And this week, stay tuned for Catch 22.
Yes.
Coming up right after this show. As for us, we will have the pregame show at 10:45 on Sunday. And will you be dressed up for that as well? Or
Probably not.
Probably not.
No.
It does get hot.
Normal does. It does.
Yeah.
It does. The glasses are fogged up. I can't see anything right now.
It won't be Halloween anymore.
All right. And then the post-game show immediately following the game. And as for us, we will see you next Tuesday.
Thank you for downloading this podcast. Subscribe on Apple, Google Play, and everywhere else you listen. Like the show? Please rate and review us. Listener comments and ratings help keep us high in the podcast rankings so new listeners can find us. Be sure to check Patriots.com for more news and more podcasts.
The world's original